Hello from the Circuit of the Americas, Austin, Texas. We're here for weekend number 3 of Ferrari Challenge North America 2026. But this is a big one. Not just that massive grid behind me. This is a Ferrari Racing Days weekend. My name is Andrew Coley. This legend...
Howdy, cowboy.
Tony Verlander with the hat. He's got the race suit on, full tame racing driver mode. Not just the 296 Challenge cars here this weekend, but we've got all the toys with us.
Yeah, Ferrari Racing Days. So we have the F1 cars, we have the 499P Modificatas, we have the Club GT. 160 cars this weekend, so this is something special.
Absolutely brilliant. We've heard these wonderful V8s singing out on the track, and it is going to be a challenge for the Ferrari Challenge drivers, isn't it? The clue's in the name.
Yeah, when I was racing, I was always looking forward to this race meeting. This is a very, very nice track. Formula One standards, we know. First sector reminds me of your home place, Silverstone.
Yes.
And then we have very high speed last sector. So this is a very, very nice track for the drivers and will be an exciting weekend of racing.
It's going to be great. Let's get things underway. Yeehaw, people, it's time to go racing. We've had a ton of laps done here on this fantastic Ferrari Racing Days weekend. All the kit has been out, but of course the meaningful laps, the qualifying laps for the challenge happened earlier on today, and we're getting ourselves ready for the first races of the weekend. Double header as usual. So we've got a Pirelli and a Shell encounter with the AM categories alongside today, and another one again tomorrow with another qualifying session in the morning. Great view there from the top of the tower as they look down on this incredible circuit. We started, of course, over at Thermal in California, then Sebring International Raceway in Florida. Now we're in Austin, Texas, COTA, Circuit of the Americas. Next up, Laguna Seca and Sonoma, of course, both those over in California, and then Road America with the Finale Mondiale, this time in Spain at the Circuit of Barcelona, Catalunya, for those drivers who wish to go over and finish off their season in spectacular fashion alongside all the other Ferrari Challenge series from around the world. That is the view of the beautiful greenery around this fantastic circuit. And here is a look at our track. That's the go-kart track. That's not our track. This is our track here. My name's Andrew Coley. Alongside me, of course, is Ferrari ambassador and legendary GT racer, Tony Verlander. Tony, you said in the open you love this place.
This is very special track. Formula One standards. A lot of elevation changes. The track itself has some... influence on many famous tracks around the world. Silverstone, I would say, first sector, a little bit of Bahrain, other tracks as well. High speed, slow speed. You need a lot of traction. You need a good race car at high speed corners as well. We saw exciting qualifying. We have a huge amount of Ferrari cars this weekend. 160 cars on track with different sessions. And yeah, the number of fans keeps going up as well. The latest number is 8,000 fans, 8,000 Ferrari fans here enjoying all this excitement.
Yeah, seen them all wandering around the paddock. They've got great access to the cars. We saw there Lewis Flory having a chat with Jan Bernier ahead of the start. Wow, 47 degrees Celsius. I think it's the highest track temperature we've seen this year. 29 C air. Okay, fine, that's Celsius. I know you guys do Fahrenheit over here, but we've got some international viewers as well. It's hot, real hot. Humidity is about 50%. That is a wonderful Texan flag, which is at the far end of the circuit, down by turn 6, or sort of halfway up it. We are based on the run up towards the start finish. Basically, me and Tony are right in the final corner, but I think all eyes, Tony, are on the first corner. Oh, wow. Okay, now we're talking. Look at those. Oi.
That's something special.
It's amazing, isn't it? How fantastic.
While we see these special effects on the grid, the drivers, of course, concentrated for the race start itself. It's quite a high-speed run into turn 1 and very wide braking zone into turn 1. You can really brake from a big distance and still stop the car at the apex. with various format of racing, a lot of action always goes to turn one. There is a chance of do Fernando Alonso style, so forget the track limits and go really wide at the exit. Do you take the inside line? Do you stay in the middle, be squeezed a little bit, or you take all the way from the outside? Avoid track limits, come back, and you're leading the race.
It's super wide, and that's the thing, isn't it? Is you could go defensive on the inside line, and you could be around the outside. And even if you go defensive, the track gets wider just at the point, so then you'll end up really tight at the apex. So they're all having a bit of banter with the cameraman about how high up he is and the fact they need to drop down. We got an incredible pre-race show here. We really have. This is proper Texas style. Here we go. Here in the heart of Texas, even Ferrari Challenge knows some legends move a little slower and carry a much bigger set of horns. Precision, presence and legacy. Those qualities define the machines preparing on the grid, and here in Texas they belong to another unmistakable icon as well. Making their way down the front straight are a pair of Cross-T Ranch's Texas Longhorns, bringing a piece of Texas heritage to the circuit of the Americas. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for the true Texas originals. And there they are, making their way through. If you ever needed to clear a grid, Tony, I reckon that's a pretty good way. If I saw one of those coming, I would be out of the way. They look super placid, but aren't they beautiful?
Yeah, this is something I haven't seen it with the other races. This is very, very, very special, and it's nice to see this pre-grid show. A lot of fans, family members, crew members from the teams on the grid. It looked really packed grid as well, pre-grid on the main straight.
Everyone's got their phones out. Look, that's a bit. They weren't expected to come home from a motor racing circuit, were they? Yeah, I got down on the grid at the start. And there were two Longhorns, like nobody would have expected that. Here we go, stunning Italian flags on Texan horses. Beautiful. This is a proper open, isn't it, to a race weekend? It really is. Kids down the sides as well, getting narrower towards the front of the grid as they make their way through down towards spot number one on the grid. Johnny Kaminsky's car, you can see there back of your picture with the fluoro wheels on it. He is the pole man for the 5th time in a row. He's looking for his 4th win. And yeah, everybody down there and watching, ready to go. The cannon down at the front of the grid as well. The Ferrari staff gathering for the start of a very, very special race weekend. Coming down the grid now are two cowboys riding the unsung stars of the arena, rodeo horses, who have built their careers on grit, heart, and a whole lot of quiet swagger. They don't chase glory, but they deliver it in the same way a Ferrari turns precision into pure spectacle. Please give a Texas-sized welcome to the working horses that make legends possible. There we go. All the animals at the front of the grid, fantastic stuff. All the photographers gathering as well. Look, the step ladders are out to get that all-important grid shot. As I said earlier, if you missed the qualifying show, do go and look at the Ferrari Races Instagram. They have the most stunning shot of the entire grid lined up on the painted pavement on the outside of turns 17 and 18. It looks incredible. And then myself, Tony, and Nina Jade, our pit reporter, had the great honour of heading up to the top of the COTA Tower and doing some filming up there. It was very cool. Like, the view is just amazing. Look at these guys and girls all dressed up, good to go. Proper Texas business. Those animals are absolutely beautiful. They really are. Incredible. Look at that ring through the nose, the ropes around them as well, the stars and stripes up above turn one. And there is the flag for Texas as well. Down at turn 6. Cracking venue. This is the proper F1 track here in America. Of course, we have Las Vegas and Miami, and we know those races are spectacular, but this is a purpose-built Formula One track. Very fast in places. We've got good overtaking opportunities, and we have, as I say, a spectacular opening show for everybody here today. We're about ready to get things underway. So here we go. Now, please turn your attention to the Jack C. Hayes Marine Corps Junior ROTC Color Guard. These young Texans present our state and nation's colours with pride, discipline, and the kind of honour that stands tall in any arena. Please raise your voices for these bright young leaders of tomorrow. Fantastic. Please do give it up, people. I say the Jack C. Hayes Marine Corps down there on the grid, as well as the Longhorns and our Cowboys. Everybody from Ferrari Motorsport at the front there as well. Matt Dusenbury, Manuel Marchi. Organising the series, Luca Zanetti down there as well. We have our opera singer getting ready for our anthems too. Crowd gathered down there, say some 6,000 or 8,000 people here at the circuit this weekend to watch. 1 horsepower on the far side of the grid, many, many horsepower behind in the form of all the different cars we've got here for our Ferrari Racing Days weekend. The biggest weekend of the year for Ferrari Challenge North America. Great to have all the toys here. Great to have everybody here along with us, and great to have you guys watching at home as well. What a start. Cannon down at the front. Look at this, Tony. It's amazing.
Yeah, this is something very special.
Kaminsky is there. I'm sure he'll be getting himself ready to go, as will all the other drivers. Of course, this is fantastic pomp for everybody who's here watching, but for the drivers, they've only got one thing on their mind, and that is the run up towards Turn 1. Who's going to take the wins here today? Trofeo Pirelli and Pirelli Am. We have Copa Shell and Copa Shell Am as well. This grid looks big, but you wait until you see the one for Copa Shell. It's going to go a long, long way further back, and we're looking forward to the racing getting underway. Here we go. Nearly ready for the off. Ladies and gentlemen, please join us for the singing of the Italian and United States national anthems, performed by international opera star and tenor James Valenti.
Fratelli d'Italia, l'Italia s'è desta, dell'emo di Scipio s'è cinta la testa, dove la vittoria le porga la chioma, che schiava di Roma. Fratelli d'Italia, l'Italia s'è desta, dell'elmo di Scipio s'è cinta la testa, dove la vittoria le porga la chioma, che schiava di Roma Iddio la creò. Stringiamci a corte, siam pronti alla morte, siam pronti alla morte, l'Italia chiamò. Stringiamci a corte, siam pronti alla morte, siam pronti alla morte, l'Italia chiamò. By the dawn's early light, what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the rampart we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets reglaid, the bombs bursting in air, gave room through the night
cannon fires as we get things underway. Great to see everybody down on the grid. Also delighted, of course, to have Antonello Coletta with us this weekend, the global head of endurance racing for Ferrari, and of course, Clienti. So fantastic to have Antonello down on the grid with our American friends as well. Look at that, fantastic fireworks in the colours of Italy, and a flyover too. Great stuff. What a way to start the racing weekend here. I say we've been here since Wednesday. A lot of the teams running cars and practice laps. But now all the talking stops and the clock starts and we get ourselves ready to go racing at COTA, Circuit the Americas. They're coming back round for another pass. And then I think we'll be about right for getting the grid cleared and getting things underway. Let's get talking about racing. Tony Villander alongside me up here, Andrew Coley in the commentary box. Turn one, to say, going to be interesting. I think this grid is big, but I mean it's twice as big when we get to Copa Shell later on today. When there's a lot of cars, you've got to try and stay out of trouble as the jets come back over the head here. Incredible.
Yeah, first of all, what a pre-show, F1 style.
Yeah.
Very, very impressive. Our leading car, the pole-sitter in Pirelli, just again, he has had a pace that no one else has been able to match. So Johnny Kaminski's pressure situation, he needs to just survive turn one, and then his pure pace should be superior compared to the others. And then we see P4, Manny Franco, who is always stronger in the race than in actual qualifying. Here we have Logan, who starts pole in the Pirelli Am in his home race. So there's a lot of things to follow, and here we should see a lot of action, a lot of overtaking opportunities, and also some speed differences towards the end of the race with the tire wear. And yeah, look at this.
Absolutely amazing stuff, isn't it? I mean, this has got to be the biggest show open I think we've ever had. It's an incredible show, it really is. Now, of course, we are on to weekend number 3. Look at that. That is literally right over our commentary position. You can hear it above us. Incredible. If you've missed the start of the season, last time, of course, was the legendary Sebring International Raceway, which is actually an old World War II airfield, so the sort of place you might land a jet like that if we hadn't been racing there that weekend. So take a look back here at the highlights from Sebring. That was a brilliant second weekend of the series. Of course, this is weekend number 3. Johnny Kaminski looking, he's had 5 poles. He's looking to get his 4th win here. He really has been absolutely flying. I'm just looking back here at my data. Yeah, so 3 wins and a P2. And I think very much the favourite. He was some, what was he, 7/10 up? Let me have a look and see on the grid. So I've got the timing here, 202.8 for him. And then P2 was actually Jeremy Clark with a 203.6. Yeah, so 8/10. But this is about the length of the race here, Tony. You've already said, obviously, it's quite hard work on the tyres. I was impressed with Kaminski this morning because it was 2 warm-up laps, bang the pole in, get back in the pits.
Yeah, the confidence Johnny he's having right now, that's very obvious, but he can't get too excited in the race. You need to survive the whole 30 minutes, and he needs to stick with his plan, keep the race lead, and then with the solid, good performance, and also, let's say, save his tires a bit, and not going for that fastest lap of the race and other things. It's just control the race. In case there are full course yellows and stuff like that, he needs to be really on it. But he has some pressure, but he has more confidence. These are all the things he's done in the past. Here's Johnny with his father, and just getting the final comments before he puts the helmet on and jumps into his car. Also Matt Dusenberry saying congrats. Not congrats, but good luck.
Wishing him luck. Yeah, a bit of both. He's on the pole and good luck as well. Matt down there with the drivers, doing a great job looking after everyone. And just those final moments of prep. So this is what you do. You put your ears in. First of all, that gives you then communications with your team. Normally that's first. Then it's balaclava on after that. It's Greg Hopkins. Then the helmet and the hands device, of course, next. And then finally into the car belts and all the rest. Manny Franco here was a threat. Remember, he took the one win at Thermal earlier on this year. And he was P2 in the other race. So Franco is always a threat. He's P4 on the grid. That doesn't mean he won't be on the pace when we go racing. Yeah, and also for his strategy for qualifying was very obvious. Only one flying lap, and then he parked the car. We said that, didn't we? That was it a repeat of the situation in Thermal where he really managed his pace through the race? It's tough to do. And he came through the field. He did. Yeah. It is tough to do, though, when you watch the gap going up to the guy who's out front, to have the discipline to go, I'm doing my pace here because I know I'll have the tyres at the end to close that gap back down. That is another skill altogether. That is true, and also it's a little bit different ball game in the race itself compared to qualifying, where you are on your own just for that pure performance, a very a lap time on the edge, and just controlling the car everywhere. Here you have other cars around you. There might be issues at the start that are not related to you. And a lot to play for in this race. Also, we've seen in numerous occasions that when we go to the first start of the weekend, drivers don't really know what to expect in turn one. They don't know how to go through the S's. Can we go side by side? Do I need to leave the space? Why force the issue? Because they haven't had to run side by side at all until now. There's a lot of practice. They're on track from Wednesday. There was a practice session weeks before, but that was under rain. And the first race start, there's a little bit of that extra excitement always. They always behave themselves a little bit better on day two, but I'm sure they'll be well behaved today. It is, of course, day one of our incredible Ferrari Racing Days weekend. If you're not sure what that is all about, we sent our fantastic pit reporter, Nina Jade Paul, out for a wander round and to tell you all about it.
Do you know what Ferrari Racing Days really are? It's so much more than a race weekend. It's a celebration of Ferrari on and off the track. This time, we're in one of the most spectacular racing destinations in the world. Welcome to the Circuit of the Americas, the iconic Texas circuit hosting our super weekend. From the Club Challenge cars to the Ferrari Challenge competitors, from the legendary F1 Clienti cars to the spectacular XX program beauties, from the extraordinary Ferrari 499P Modificata models to the Club Competizione GT entrants, there's more than 150 cars on track this weekend. With qualifying sessions and 2 Ferrari Challenge races, plus private practice sessions from the other programs, the action never stops. Competition, exclusive track action, Ferrari lifestyle experiences and unique activations in the city centre. This will be a weekend that no Ferrari fan can miss. Watch every Ferrari Challenge race live on the Ferrari YouTube channel and feel the thrill of Ferrari Racing Days by following our official channels.
Great stuff from Nina J. Paul. She was up at the top of the tower just after us with a look down over the circuit. It was windy up there as well. Hats off to our drone pilot, Jordan, for managing to hang on to it up there. It was it's actually pretty windy today. There's a bit of cloud cover, which I think everyone will be relieved about. It was scorching hot yesterday, Tony. Yeah, yesterday was super hot. Today is a little bit... The clouds have been covering a little bit, and it feels less humid as well. This morning track was really fast, and now the drivers need to also adapt to a little bit different conditions. Track temp is up, to be ready for this 30-minute race. Very much looking forward to it. So we are getting our drivers in the car ready to go. We've got our third member of our team, Nina J. Paul, you saw just a few moments ago. She is down in pit lane.
I am still in awe of that pre-race show. I mean, bulls, horses, if there were any doubt that we are in Texas, that has been diminished. absolutely spectacular. The atmosphere on the grid is amazing. Now all eyes turn to what should be a sensational afternoon of racing. Looking at the championship, taking 3 out of the last 4 wins, Johnny Kaminsky is absolutely dominating his class with a 26-point lead over Brad Falber. Pirelli Am, however, is extremely close. We got a new championship leader in Sebring. Mitchell Green is 4 points ahead of Jan Bernier, and it's a bit of deja vu between those two. If you remember last season, they were fighting it out tooth and nail. But like I say, the Pirelli Am Championship is extremely close. Just 14 points separates the top 7 drivers. It's going to be a really exciting afternoon of racing. We have Trofeo Pirelli up first, but the guys are out on their recon laps at the moment. Let's take you around the track with one of our drivers.
Hey guys, Lewis Flory here, car number 183, racing with Comp. Here we are, back where it all began for me, Circuit of the Americas, and I'm going to take you on a lap around this track. So coming up the front straight, heading into turn 1, what you're looking for is a mark of about 125 feet for your brake zone. Coming in, trying to catch tight to this apex. I don't use all the track out this side to set myself up for going into turn 2. Turn 2, trying to be as strong on the throttle as you can, but get down to this curve and track all the way out, coming wide for 3. It's a half crack of the throttle, then touch the brakes going into the S's here. Find your way coming out. Here you got to be patient, stay a little bit wide, then bring it back in, throttle down, trying to get down to turn 7, catch just that apex right there. Coming up into 3rd gear here, bring it over to the right, getting as far inside as I can, and then flat on the gas all the way down, trying to get down to turn 10 as fast as possible, using every bit of the track that they're allowing us. Braking right here at the grass, hard on the brakes, bring it in tight, catch this apex, and jump on the gas as fast as you can for that famous back straight going down here at COTA. Going down the back straight, it's a long straight, but what you're looking for is you're looking for that 150-foot marker. And once again, as we come up to it, we're going to get very heavy on the brakes, very aggressive on the brakes. Stay wide, stay patient, catch this inside apex, and again, come out wide and send it on down the next corner. Here, it's a light use of the brake, but it's a long braking area to get that nose down into that apex, and then you're trying to find the grip and get it all the way down to the next corner. Here, another kind of light but long braking zone, catching that apex, and then hard on the gas as fast as you can and set it up wide to be ready to bring it in for the carousel. Through the carousel, it's a little bit of management of throttle and grip, trying to stay on the very edge of grip with the throttle as aggressive as you can, and now comes down to a super fast corner, 4th gear, turn 19, use all the track out to the right. Coming up here, we're going to brake right on the sidewalk at the right for turn 20, 3rd gear, apex, and very aggressively throttle out using every bit of the track. And that is a lap at the Circuit of the Americas.
What a great lap there from Lewis Flory. And drivers out now, getting themselves warmed up for our first race of the day. There you can see some of the bumps that we've talked about a little bit during qualifying, where the black lines go across the track. Biggest area that was resurfaced, Tony, was the run actually down to turn 12.
Yeah, some of the areas, some of the corners over the years have been resurfaced because they get during the winter. For the next spring, the track is a bit different. A little bit of bumps on the track. You can see when the race gets underway, you can see that there is those black areas that you can see the braking points into turn 1, some other areas which are quite tricky. Turn 19 as well, there's a lot of movement when you hit the brakes. The car is loading to the front tires and there's bumps on the track. Yeah, and they had to resurface for Formula 1 and MotoGP. Those two disciplines very sensitive on bumps and disconnections on track. Track itself very wide. Here is turn 1. You can have very different racing lines, staying very tight, trying to accelerate coming out of the turn. And then we can see here turn 12, the exit of the after the hard braking into the hairpin, after the back straight. A lot of areas, a lot of runoff areas. You can go 2, 3, even 4 cars side by side in different places on this track. So we are looking forward to a very exciting race.
Yeah, can Manny Franco challenge, as he did Johnny Kaminsky when we were at Thermal at the start of the season?
Yeah, we have a lot of beautiful graphics on the car, but still the Ferrari red can be fast.
Cool, yeah,
and it can be fast.
Yeah, Very nice. And I'd say good performance by Jeremy Clark, jumping in the car and just going straight towards the front of the grid immediately. So he's an experienced racer, well, clearly, we know that. But to come in and jump into these cars, which obviously are quite specialist, if you are only racing these cars, then you can be fully on top of it. But this guy, he was freaky fast this morning. He was some 7-8 tenths up the road. And it remains to be seen what the tactics will be here. When we know it's hot, we know the track temperature is as high as we've seen it all year. We know that both him and Manny Franco were careful to manage their tyres this morning. Roberto Perina, third on the grid. Also quick, as we know. That basically, what we're saying is that one lap in quali, yes, it does look like Klienti has got a bit of extra pace if he needs to dig deep, but it's whether or not that pace will work over the course of a longer distance. Final tyre pressure checks. Just checking everything is exactly as they want it. That's Perina's machine again, just checking the rears on the Pirellis. Okay, let's get this show on the road, shall we? It's time for race number 1 of the weekend.
Drivers, start your Ferrari engines.
There we are, Luca Zanetti, the president of Ferrari North America, getting ourselves underway for this one. Last check as well, a little crank down on the wheel nuts to make sure everything is good. The prancing horse in the back of the grille there.
Is that loud enough?
Just behind the 296 engine in the back of these cars with the pipe straight out through that rear grille. On the right there, that's where you can put the air jack on. That jacks the car up off the floor on its own jacks, which are built into the chassis. That is the front 8 or so cars there are in Trofeo Pirelli, and I think it's the rear 12 which are in Pirelli AM. I reckon we've got another third more on top of that when we get to Copa Shell and go for it, Tony.
Yeah, I had a quick chat at the lunch with Roberto Perina, car number 55. We just saw the images. He's enjoying the weekend so far. Good speed, likes the track a lot, and his car balance has been good. And he said he tries to go for it at the start. He has a lot of experience with Ferrari Challenge, so he knows every chance you have, you need to take it, because then later on in the race, anything can happen.
Yeah, I think you have to be opportunistic, don't you, straight away if you get to. But there's opportunistic and there's risk. How much risk versus reward? These guys are all experienced and are pretty switched on. So hopefully we won't have too many dramas up in turn 1. Weekend number 3 of Ferrari Challenge North America. We're at COTA, Circuit of the Americas, Austin, Texas, and we're just about ready to go with our first race encounter of the weekend. Been lapping here in all sorts of machinery, Ferrari Racing Days. We've had everything from F1 cars through to the 499P Modificata, but now, of course, is the turn of the 296 Challenge cars, and this is Trofeo Pirelli, our top class. Johnny Klienti on the pole, the championship leader by nearly 8 tenths of a second, but alongside him, Jeremy Clark, very impressive on his debut in the series this year. Roberto Perina in P number 3 and P number 4, Manny Franco. He took a win back in Thermal. Could he maybe do the same again here? Then it is Brian Cook and Brad Falvera on row number 3, and row number 4, George Grinzovich III and Esteban Beckman. Then we're down to Jay Logan and Jan Bernier. So Logan, of course, the pole sitter in Pirelli AM, followed by Joe Rubbo and Gregory Hopkins. On to row number 7, it's Martin Burrows and Matthew Diel. Diel got right up there with a very quick final lap. Mitchell Green would have been way further up the grid, but lost his best lap to track limits. Alongside Mitchell Green, I missed the name unfortunately. I got Chung, and then Gutierrez, Venceslavas and Porter. Cars coming round on the warm-up lap. Tony, obviously they've been for a reconnaissance lap and now a warm-up lap, but tyres maybe not absolutely up to temperature.
Yeah, for a 30-minute race, you set the tyre pressures lower than in qualifying. But like you said, they did a recon lap. There's a lot of heat from the car itself, from the brakes. The air temp, the track temp is up, so not a big issue for the opening lap when we when we get the green flag, yes, after a few laps, the lap times will improve, and then after a half distance of the race, then we start seeing maybe some difference on the setup and tire wear, and some drivers struggling a bit more, and some drivers finding more pace. And interesting to see how the race 1 in Pirelli plays out.
It was Harry Chung who I missed in that one. Apologies, Harry. He's on the outside of row number 8. The grid sweeping by pretty much as quickly as we expect them to when we go racing. And you can see now Kaminski with a pretty heavy weaving, trying to just put the temperature back into those Pirellis. That rolling start's about to happen, and it should be fun on the run to turn 1. Already into 2 little groups here. They need to get a bit closer than that together as they come round turn 20 and onto the start-finish straight. It'll be Kaminski that gets them underway once he sees the green light. We separate the 2 categories quite nicely. So we put Pirelli Am just a little, well, quite a long way back, which is good for us because we get to see the whole of the start for Pirelli and then come back to see the whole of the start for Pirelli Am. In the old days, it was a bit like, okay, there's 8 million cars here, what's going on? But we'll be able to break it up and break it down for you indeed. As we say, at the minute, your championship leader is Johnny Kaminski with 3 wins out of 4. He's had 5 poles. In P2 is Brad Favre. Favre, of course, is in P6 on the grid, so he's on the outside of row 2, the dark blue car with a red stripe up the middle of it. So row 1, Kaminski and Jeremy Clark is the first ones to watch. And they're going to come now. They're on the start-finish straight. It's up to Kaminski, or into the last corner now. It's up to Kaminski to get things underway. Manny Franco in the blue and white on row 2. So watch here for the green flag and the green lights, and then they will be underway. Waiting starter is up underneath the gantry look. They're waiting. And there it is, green flag. So Kaminski then gets us underway. So Kaminski leading up towards turn 1 has a decent little buffer there. Perina dropping to the inside line around the outside. Manny Franco looking for space. Jeremy Clark goes quite defensive and holds on to P2. Franco's got round the outside of Perina. So Franco's got round the outside of Perina and holds on to P3. Now coming up for the second part of the grid, Jay Logan versus Jan Bernier, right-hand side of your screen. So Logan and Bernier. Oh, Bernier puts a squeeze on Logan as they get up towards turn 1, but Logan does hold on. Bernier on the outside now, but should have a good run down and hold on to second place. Indeed he does. So everybody in both categories safely through, Tony Verlander.
Yes, very good start from Johnny Kaminski. A little bit more action in the Pirelli Am that we see over here. There was a slight contact, some body work, some parts were left there at turn 1. Bernier was really challenging for the lead, but also Logan had a good run. Mitchell Green, we see here car number 67. Like you mentioned, didn't have a perfect qualifying, and let's see now Mitchell. He's been driving lately everything from Formula 2, Formula 1. He did the historic in Monaco, so let's see Mitchell Green's pace in this race.
Yeah, he's already got past Matthew DL with the black, white and red car just behind him, and now he's having a look to see him try and make another pass as well. Just in front of him is Gregory Hopkins in the purple and yellow car. So Mitchell Green, the championship leader in Pirelli Am, trying to make hay. And this is the problem, because if he doesn't get through quickly, the other cars will have got a very similar pace to him, so he will get away. So he has really got to go for it on these opening laps.
Yeah, he needs to make the moves quickly. And now we see again, Manny Franco is very aggressive on the opening lap. He already gained 1 place to Roberto Perina, and now he's looking for that P2.
He wants to get after it again, because same thing. Look at Kaminski disappearing. Franco inside. Manny Franco getting on the inside line through turn 18. Now he's on the outside through 19. Dirty track maybe. It's quite over the edge of the track, but he's still trying to hold on to the run into turn number 20. Franco side by side here with Jeremy Clark. Franco using all the track. You're on board with a perfect view from Roberto Perina's car. Franco into the slipstream now. Jeremy Clark trying to hold on. Clark will move slightly to the inside. Franco's got to go late and be decisive here. Kaminski is plotting his exit already, and he's some 20 car lengths up the road. No way through there for Franco. Look at that, 2.6 seconds for Kaminski. He might try and edge a lead out here and then wind the pace back a little bit, but Manny Franco looking very racing. I have to say, Jeremy Clark doing a good job here as well, holding on to P2.
Yeah, and this fight has really allowed Johnny Kaminski to pull away. Manny Franco really fighting a lot on this opening lap, but right now looking to get some more pressure from behind from Perina, so good fight between places 2, 3 and 4.
Yeah, close indeed. There's some borderline track limits going on here, Tony. Obviously, that's up to the stewards to monitor that, but we may see penalties applied if it's felt that people have gone too far. You're looking there at the green car of Mitchell Green, who is sitting where in class P6, I think, at the minute. Class P7, no, P7 in class at the minute. Qualified in, looking down at my grid, on P7, okay, so he must have lost a place as well as game on this first lap. Jay Logan and Jan Bernier separated by some 0.7 of a second. Manny Franco is having to drive defensively here from Perina, and that's allowing Clark just to get away a little bit. And Clark now going after Kaminski out front. Oh, look at the car moving around under Franco.
And you can see far ahead of Roberto Perina, Manny Franco. He's using the racing line I was telling you earlier here at the high-speed corner. Really tight line and taking the inside curve to help the rotation. This is the experience you get from GT3 and racing in IMSA as well. So Manny Franco is really driving hard his race car, using the track limits all the way to the edge. And hard fight for these podium places.
Everybody straddling that curb on the way through as well. Brian Cook in the red and yellow is at the back of that pack. Then Brad Fowler leads George Grintovich and Esteban Beckman. So McCarthy and Bitton didn't take the start today. Grintovich here. Fowler, as I say, is in P2 in the standings at the minute. He's had a P2, a P3 and 2 P4s. Franco was able to take that one win at the start of the season, but missed Sebring. So it's very much advantage Kaminski in terms of the championship overall, but we've got a long, long way to go yet. This is round number 3 of 6 rounds in the USA, and then, of course, there's Finale Mondiale as well at the Circuit of Barcelona, Catalunya, which is where MotoGP is this weekend. You mentioned MotoGP comes here as well. This is a fantastic facility, isn't it? And it was kind of a groundbreaking one. I know F1 has been over here many times in different places, but this was kind of the first track. It's like, let's make a real proper F1 specific track in the USA.
Yeah, and also was a big breakthrough for Formula One, struggling for many years to really break in US and to make a good proper show. And yeah, this track was designed to create a lot of good racing, and now we see a hard fight here, turns 6, 7, 8 side by side. Mitchell Green looking for that other overtaking opportunity. Let's see here, turn 11.
He's late, isn't he, on the inside, but not close enough. It was Chang in front of him, and Hopkins as well. Chang and Hopkins were side by side. I thought he might get an opportunity to get through. Jan Bernier is in P2 in the standings. Logan's looking at the gap between them. There's only 0.8 of a second, so Bernier and Logan are close. There they are, up front. Bernier looks like he's slightly changed the orange on the car, but maybe it's just the Texan sunshine that is making it look like that.
Yeah, this area will become very tricky towards the end of the race. You're lacking traction, these low speed corners, understeer, oversteer, so you're fighting the car all the time. Sometimes you need to short shift in the exit of the corner, not to have a wheel spin and to wear the rear tires or overheat the rear tires too much. Also, Johnny Kaminski's strategy, lap 1 he almost pulled a 3-second lead. Then the lap 2 was similar between the leaders, and now again his last lap really impressive and lapping a second quicker than anybody else.
Yeah, wild, absolutely flying. How does that compare to qualifying time? Did you know, you did have a note of the qualifying times?
Yeah, now he's lapping 2:05 and he did 2:02.8.
Okay, so yeah, so the degradation we'd expect of a few laps, and also much hotter temperatures this afternoon.
And also fuel load. Here the fuel load.
So Chang being having a look at again here from Hopkins. This would help behind Mitchell Green to try. So look at that. Immediately closes down 4 or 5 car lengths where they've gone defensive on the way in. But Green really does need to fight his way through this if he's going to go after the likes of Bernier, his old sparring partner from last year.
Yeah, here Ferrari has opted for lower curbs in the S's. Some of you may remember that sometimes the orange inside curbs are higher. In IMSA racing as well. This weekend we have F1 cars on track, the 499P Modificata, so Ferrari's choice and request was for lower curbs, and we have some parts of the track we have the tire barriers to limit the drivers not cutting too much.
Yeah, just to give us some sort of physical track limits. Don't forget that Frank Chang here in the 89 car, the gold coloured car at the front, was the winner of round 1 in Pirelli and back in thermal. He had a P8 at round 2, didn't come with us to Sebring. So Chang knows exactly what he's up to here, and that's not making life easy for the cars behind him to try and get through. Meanwhile, Kaminski has checked out at the front and has a gap of 4.2 seconds over Jeremy Clark. Manny Franco, who you're looking at here with the blue and white, Roberto Perina with the red and white behind him. Where is, yeah, there it is. Cook is coming through as well.
And you can see the racing line difference. Manny is using 17-18, very tight and gaining a lot of ground on a P2 car on Clark.
Kaminski, so finally now the timing screen has started to go dark, and by that I mean people are not now doing their quickest laps. So they've done their quickest laps for the first 3 or 4 laps round. Most people have gone quicker on each lap, and now we're starting to drop down in terms of time. Mitchell Green has managed to get past here. We'll take a look at that. So this was Mitchell Green making the pass. So have a look.
Good dive.
Inside.
Yeah, the slow speed. Whoa, very decisive move into turn 15 and 16. Those are the areas. That is one of the slowest corners on track, but a very decisive move. And now let's see if Mitchell Green can continue this fight forward.
I was surprised he had enough momentum on the exit. When you go that tight on the way in, you compromise your exit speed so much. But of course, when the next corner isn't so tight, you can get away with it.
Yeah, sometimes you need to use the gearbox really to go even a 1 gear lower, going down to first gear instead of second, and so on, just to help the car to stop and in the rotation, and not to give a chance to the other driver to come back and regain his place.
So Chang now the next one on the list for Mitchell Green, but as we said, he took a win at the start of this year, so he's no slouch, and Mitchell will know that. And there's a fair old gap then further up the road to Martin Burrows, Joe Rubbo, Jan Bernier and Jay Logan. Green is right there. This is the start of that long straight, so can he do anything with a slipstream here? He is pretty close. This would be a good opportunity. Here's our flip-flop camera, which gives you an idea of the pace. Let's see how close Mitchell Green is here. Not in the slipstream. I thought he might be closer than that. And it's very quick down this back straight, insanely fast. There's the big braking zone. We've seen a couple of lock wheels there earlier on today. And you can run deep on the exit of 12 here and use the pavement on the outside, the big Texan flag colours. This is the part of the track that was inspired a little bit by Hockenheim, and then there's also the long corner which was inspired by Istanbul Park. I love that, taking the best corners from the world of motorsport. Oh, okay, Manny Franco here. Jeremy Clark on the outside, very close. Franco managing to get the nose inside. So Manny Franco, that looks like that's been lined up from a long way back. Jeremy Clark trying to go the long way around and get back to him, but he can't just. And now Perina is on Clark's tail. So Franco now is clear to go after Kaminski, but the gap is some 5.7 seconds. So I guess, Tony, it's about how much tyre life do you want to use to chase him, or do you see if his tyres go off and you come back to him a bit? I don't know how you make that choice, I don't know. Data,
yeah, once again, we're seeing that Manny Franco has more pace in the race than in qualifying. And I would say that in his position, just go for it, flat out, put pressure on Johnny Kaminski, and if there is a drop on his tires or something happens, he can still challenge him for the race lead. The gap is big, but we have time. He needs 1 second per lap, something like that, to really close the distance, and then we have a fight for the lead as well. But the next few laps will show how the pace settles.
Whether or not he's able to close that gap down, and that might well close the gap down, because that is Esteban Beckman. He's dropped it in the gravel. Beckman is stranded, and if he's stuck there, then that's going to close that gap down. Of course, this is where Kaminski's risk-reward against using the tyres early comes into it. He's used a bit of extra rubber to get away, good move. But now if the gap gets closed down by a safety car, then he's in trouble. Let's see what happened to Beckman. This is where it's up by 8 and 9, I think. So he's dropped it on the way in.
Yes, 6 before turn 7. Sorry, 7 between 7 and 8. He lost it, and then he should have
reversed.
Reversed or tried to accelerate with more speed. So then he went to the gravel trap and
full course yellow. Yeah. So full course yellow. So yeah, that's a shame for Beckman. When you're spinning like that, if you come off at the brake at the right moment, and you have the car in neutral, you can reverse roll the car around, spin the car around in the direction you want. But as you say, if you reach a point where the front wheels and you're stopped at the gravel trap, you'd have to reverse to not get stuck there, I think. And of course, this is F1 spec gravel, Tony, which means it's deep and it's very good at catching cars. And Although the preference now, of course, is for large pavement runoffs.
Yeah, for the race win in Pirelli, this is interesting because Johnny was really on the charge. He was really hard on his tires since the opening lap of the race. And let's see now if Manny Franco, there was over a second gap in the qualifying, but this is a different story now in the race. So interesting to see when we get back on racing what's going to happen with the pace. And yeah, this is Johnny Kaminski's crew being nervous, not happy with the full course yellow, obviously. When you are leading a race with more than 5 seconds, you don't want to see yellow flags or safety car on track. But this is the nature of our racing here in Ferrari Challenge. You need to be ready for everything. And he has a new fight. This prepares drivers as well. You have the more pressure for the restart, and you need to be ready. You need to hit your marks once again and build that lead, gap the other drivers again.
Yeah, and now, of course, with the added pressure that it is Franco who's behind him, who was his nemesis at Thermal. Franco had just made that pass to get himself up into a position to threaten.
But if you remember in qualifying, I already mentioned 17 and 18, those very long right-hand high-speed corners. And now, even on the first 2-3 laps, Manny Franco every time was car with more narrow. He was riding the inside curb all the way 17, 18, doing less meters on track and helping the car to rotate. And that's why he was able to put pressure on Clark and then eventually overtake him. So let's see now the racing line differences, because this is for sure things that Manny has learned racing other categories and endurance racing as well. Because qualifying, one thing, new tires, they give a maximum grip. In the race, it's different story. And he's back on track. Beckman is back in the race, so I think he will join the queue, and I think shortly we will get back with the racing.
Interesting. So Esteban Beckman is allowed to continue, having been dragged out of the gravel trap. Some series, if you've caused a full course yellow, that's not allowed, so he's out, but of course he is going to be at the back. Is he a lap down as well? Yes, he is. So actually, yeah, I was thinking he might be able to fight his way back through, but unfortunately Beckman is a lap down. Having said that, there are 8 cars running in Pirelli. He may as well finish the race because he would still get points for P8, which will be great come the end of the year. Are the lights out on the safety car? I think I just saw that they were from the long shot. Behind us here, we can see the runners coming through for Pirelli AM. So it's Logan, Bernier, Rubo, Burrows, Chang in the gold car. Then we have Hopkins and Green. So did Hopkins get back past Green? Must have done. Matthew Diel, Alan Chun, Gutierrez, Venceslas and Porter. You're on board here with Porter. The great colour of Gerdas Venceslas' car in front. I think it's his national flag, if I remember correctly, over the top of the car. So it looks like we're about to go green. I think we are. Where's the safety car? Is it gone? Is Kaminski? Yeah, or it's about to go. So the safety car now, Kaminski will be building a bit of a gap. Look at Franco. Franco is saying to him, I am coming for you, sunshine. Let's get it on. So Franco is up for a fight here. He's battled his way into position. There's almost contact there between them. So Manny Franco is really playing the mental game, and good for him. That's what it's all about. You've got to put the car in front under pressure. Kaminski will just hold his line tight here, and then he gets on the throttle nice and early. So Kaminski versus Franco, then Clark, Perina, Cook and Fowler as they come up. Grinzovich there as well. Perina is past Clark. Clark looks like he's got a bad restart here, and I think Cook's going to get him as well. So Jeremy Clark, for whatever reason, was in the wrong gear there as they came over the line, and he drops 2 places. Perina and Cook both get through, but Kaminski is away with Franco in behind him. Bernier, P2, behind Logan, still for Pirelli Am in the background. Good move by Cook there to manage to get past, but that's a real shame for Jeremy Clark after a brilliant qualifying performance.
And also very good acceleration decision from Johnny Kaminski. Mid-corner in turn 20, so he has the right acceleration, and Manny couldn't go on throttle at the same time. So very nicely timed, for sure, learned, studied, decided before, but good job.
Yeah, I think he mentioned, didn't he, his dad's had a win here before, or was it a pole here before in qualifying? Either way, there's family experience here. Yeah, his dad had the pole and the win, of course, that's what they said, that he'd converted it, and Kaminski wants to convert it as well. And he's already just a little bit away. This is what you want as the leader, is you want the guy in P2 to come under pressure behind. And the fact that Perina has got past Clark has kind of messed up Franco's plan, because now Franco's got to watch his rear, he's got to watch his 6, basically. Turn 12, watching his tail.
Yeah,
This is where you were saying, no, it's 17, 18, isn't it, that you say he's really early in. We might see it from on board Perina if we're lucky.
Yeah, Perina is a very good overtaker. If he has a chance to do it, he goes for sure. So now the thing to follow, if we stay on board with Roberto Perina, look at Manny Franco's racing line through here, 17, 18. I would say he stays super tight, inside. So he's riding those curves to help the rotation, because the tire itself would squeeze, would go further up on the track, would go wider in the exit of 18, so he wants to keep it narrow to have an optimum racing line then to 19, 20, and good flow through those. And you also save tires, you're doing less meters on track, and you're changing the weight distribution a little bit, riding that inside curve.
Yeah, less time running through the corner with a lot of lock on the car. In the background, Chang is coming under pressure. I think it's Burrows behind. Was right up behind Chang. Yeah, they're swerving in the background. You can just see as they come up to turn 1. Might be a move or not. We'll see. There is Bernier, and yeah, Chang is still in position, so he holds on. Burrows trying to go there around the long way, so Burrows has got it done. Oh, contact! Chang didn't know he was there. Burrows, Mitchell Green avoids him just. That is really unlucky for Burrows. I felt he'd got that move done, and unfortunately, I just don't think Chang realised he was still outside him. That was happening from a long way further back. Bit of damage to the front of Mitchell Green's car. It's only an end. It's an end plate on the wing. Wow, that was high speed. Mitchell Green did well to avoid him. Have a look at the replay, Tony. So this was going on from the start-finish straight.
Yeah, this is going down the hill into turn 2. Burrows is inside, but I think Chang didn't know he was inside. He took more the normal racing line, preparing the car from left, and then closing the racing line, and then Burrows was inside, and there was contact. Wow, all things
Green
happening.
Is, side by side here. Didn't see who it is. Green's inside, but he's past them. Was it? I wonder if Matthew Diel got through as well. I think Diel is ahead of Green now. He is. So Matthew Diel got through here. In the background, who's behind? Oh, he's making a pass on Green, but then runs deep on the brakes. It's Gutierrez. So Gutierrez, so in that melee, tons has gone on in the background, hasn't it? Porter's gone up a few places as well. It'll all get updated as we come over the start-finish line. So Logan with a 0.9 second lead, but all the action is back here. Full course yellow again, so something has happened somewhere else on circuit. That's a shame after it was going really well. Hopkins, there we go. Hopkins has dropped it. Hopkins was in, is that the same place as this morning? It is. That's the exit of turn 9. I think it's the exit of 9, I think. But before the Armco finished and was repaired just before the wall starts in 9. I might be wrong. Let's have a look and see. So we're going to get one of our cameramen has just tried definitely to get it. And there it is. Yeah, he's gone round and he's just the spin mark. So that's second driver today. Not gone in as hard. And the wall, I don't think will need any damage, but or any repairing. 8 minutes left. I don't think that car's going to take long to get out of there, Tony. We might end up with a bit of a dash for cash here right at the end, and everything's kicked off in the background. Look, DL back past Mitchell Green. We saw people moving up and down several positions at a time because of that spin that we saw for Burrows, who has pitted. So Burrows damaged too much after the contact with Frank Chang, who maintains P4 in Pirelli Am in the gold-coloured car, but you would think Chang might have damage on that car as well. So all to play for if we get a restart.
Yeah, let's see how quickly they can get the car recovered, depending where the truck are, or the marshals, or let's see. Johnny Kaminsky did a really good restart. Clark was surprising to see that he lost a lot of places. He went down to P5. Just the acceleration was not there on the main straight.
Maybe one gear too
yeah,
high,
one gear, maybe a heating issue, something that he didn't have all the power, I don't know. Manny Franco didn't really have the pace to match Johnny Kaminsky, but look at the speed. The marshals and the tow truck are there, so hopefully we get this. There might be a chance to get this race restarted again.
I think they will. I think they will. We know it's 2 minutes flat out, so admittedly a lap behind the safety car. If we had to do another lap, it might be a 1 lap dash. I'm hoping that we do. We always hope we finish under green flag conditions. It's so much more fun. if the safety car is nice and slow, maybe they'll get it done this lap. I don't think they will. Where are they now? Turn 12?
11, yeah.
11, yeah. So it's a long way to come back, but they'd have to know that the safety trucks were off the track with the car loaded. I think it's going to be another lap behind the safety car.
But I must say the track officials have really been on it today.
Super
the way
quick.
they repaired the track in qualifying. After the car had a touch with the barrier, we got the action going on time, and the same thing now, the tow truck, everything really if Johnny Kaminsky is really fast, also the track marshals have been and officials have been really fast.
Yeah,
as well.
they've been freaky fast, like
Exactly.
Kaminsky has. I'm sure he can get down there and give them one of those sandwiches or something as a reward. There'll be something, I'm sure. Fastest laps at the minute going to Kaminsky and Logan. Remember, there's a point up for grabs for that as well as the pole. There is the car. Is the car bit? Yeah, so Hopkins is in the truck. He's fine, but the car is still... Yeah, they're lowering the flatbed now. They definitely won't go green this next lap. So I think it will be 1, 2 if we're lucky, but that requires them to get the car on that flatbed now and get it away. But I think they will. I think they will. Pretty sure it's still got 4 wheels on it, Tony. That makes it a much easier recovery job.
Yeah, they just need to get things moving. Hopefully there is no bigger damage on the car. And like you mentioned, if it takes a few more minutes, maybe we get 2 racing laps.
Which I'd like to see that.
Yeah.
I would like to see that. Yesterday we had the big grid shot around there on the Texan paint, which we mentioned. I'm pretty sure the lights are still on the safety car. Me and Tony played some basketball because at the base of the COTA tower we discovered a hoop and a basketball. And it turns out that neither of us with a background in motorsport are any good at basketball, are we, Tony?
No, there was no NBA talent lost there.
No, I'm not. I mean, I'm tall, but who's that? What's going?
I think the queue was really slowing, and there was Barrows and Venslovas who almost running to the back of the other cars. Yeah, our basketball skills we can
need polishing.
Yeah, we cannot do an opening show on our basketball skills.
Well, we could, but I think it would be like a clown
comedy.
show. Yeah,
comedy.
a clown show. So. Running order at the minute, Kaminsky, Franco, Perina, the top 3 in Pirelli, and the top 3 in Pirelli and Logan, Bernier and Rubbo. Mitchell Green is in, where is he? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, P6 in PM. And the only reason we mention Mitchell is because, of course, he is the championship leader by 4 points from Jan Bernier. Kevin Gutierrez is in P3, but Gutierrez is behind Mitchell Green. Michael Porter
so maybe
also,
this lap.
car's in. Okay, this is good. So this means safety car in, but how long before they get round there? I think, where are they, Tony? Where are we on circuit?
Turn 6, 7, they're just gonna go past the tow truck, I think, shortly. So I think maybe this lap.
We need the safety car now to go flat out so that we get 2 racing laps. So 2 minute, how long's the racing lap at the minute? Times on 2:05. So we might get 2 racing laps in here, which is a mouth-watering prospect. Although I would say with 2 laps to go and lots of drivers out of their traditional place, we might see some maximum attack moments here, as you Finns like to say.
Yeah, for driver, always these safety cars, they bring you a little bit more nervous because restart, anything can happen. Johnny Kaminsky, he had a comfortable lead, he had to rebuild it again, and now everything is zeroed again. So it's actually like a 3rd race start now, so more pressure.
It is indeed. There is Burrows. So Burrows is back out after he made that pass on Chang at the contact. Burrows is working his tyres hard. So Burrows here, where is he a lap down? No, he's not. So Burrows didn't go a lap down. This second safety car helped Burrows because he pitted to check, I guess, for damage, or maybe even if he had a puncture, we don't know. So he's pitted. He's on the same lap, so we'll have to... Okay, so we need to watch Martin Burrows in the 46 at the very back of the pack, trying to get as many places back as he can.
Lights off.
Lights are out, so we know that they're going to go racing at front. We need to watch Franco in the blue and silver car here behind Kaminsky. Kaminsky, the championship leader. The only man who's beaten him so far this year is the man who's right behind him, Manny Franco. Last time, Kaminsky got away Jeremy Clark didn't have a good restart. 2 cars past him, and that's put Perina and Cook in the mix as well. So if Perina can apply the pressure to Franco, that'll take it off Kaminsky. But it is all to play for here, and that's just the Pirelli grid. Pirelli and behind Logan, Bernier, Rubbo, and Chang, DL and Green. So there's a lot going on here. We'll do our best to keep across it for you. With 1 minute 54 left, it is going to be one lap, isn't it?
Or is it 0 and then white flag?
Oh, yes. Not sure. We might get 2. Let's see. There they are, super tight in together, Pirelli runners.
Again, Manny Franco is really... Now everybody knows what to expect, so can Johnny do something differently?
You'd think, wouldn't you, Franco will now try and open the throttle at the same time as Kaminsky. Obviously, if he later
put some
into the
traction
corner.
control and then go earlier and throttle.
Here we go. So Kaminsky away, and Franco does get a good restart. Green and white flag, last lap as well. So it is a 1-lap dash here to the checker flag. DL runs wide in the background. Mitchell Green is through a position already in Pirelli Am up front. Perina looking for a move here. Roberto Perina late on the brakes. Franco has seen him in the mirrors. Kaminsky has kept this really sensible, really kept his head. Cook and everybody else holding on to position. Logan and Bernier here, and Rubbo maintaining their 1, 2, 3. Frank Chang still in P4. I think there's a bit kicking off behind them, but it's hard to tell right now. Where did Mitchell Green get to? Is that him behind Chang? It is. Mitchell Green then up a position. We saw him pass, we saw him pass somebody in the first corner, Matthew DL. DL, is he in behind? Yeah, DL is the driver who's lost the position. So Green's gone P5 to P4, but Bernier, being a few places in front, might sneak the championship lead here. Mitchell Green right in behind Chang, who had that contact earlier on. Oh, and they're all on the dirt on the outside line, pushing their luck here big time. Bringing in the rally skills, getting out on the dirt like that. Still, Logan leads from Bernier. Bernier would love to sneak the victory here at the last possible second. Bernier hasn't had a win yet in this category. He's had 2 P2s, and the fight going on the back as well. Burrows maybe class 1 driver, I think. Our top kings potentially. And out front, Kaminsky with just a few metres lead over Manny Franco. And in the background, Cook there, and Clark running all the way deep across the track as well. Kaminsky's just got to keep this tied on now. Only a few corners to go. Perina still looking dangerous for Manny Franco. No, I think Kaminsky's had to do 3 restarts here, basically. The one at the start, the official start, and then 2 restarts from behind the safety car with intense pressure from Manny Franco. And Kaminsky's done a great job here. A very wise head on his young shoulders. 2 corners to go. Johnny Kaminsky then come round. He's had 5 poles. He had P2 in round 2 to the guy behind him, but despite the pressure from Manny Franco, Johnny Kaminsky takes his 4th win of the season, crosses the line, swerves to the checker flag. P2 goes Franco, then Perina. In the background, here comes our Pirelli Am runners, Logan, Bernier, Rubbo, super close together. Chang holds on for 4th. Mitchell Green gets 5th. Everybody tied together. Brian Kaminsky is down on the radio. Yes, you don't need to be a great lip reader to know what he said there. Kaminsky pulls off to the inside of the circuit on the radio to the team. Job done. Nice one. A lot of pressure.
Yeah, very well handled from Johnny, and he didn't overshoot any of the corners and really focused on mid to exit. He had good acceleration from the slow speed corners and didn't really give any chance to the other drivers. Also the last sectors, 15, 16, he was just patient in the entry and really strong in the exit of the corners, and he was just man on the mission. He had a lot of pace and good drive from this young man. Again, 17 years old.
Yeah, Massimo Perina set tons of records last year. I reckon Kaminsky's going after some of them. In 5 races now, it's been 5 poles, 4 fastest laps and 4 wins. So Perina set him a great example last year. Jay Logan, the winner in Trofeo Pirelli Am. I don't think they changed position, did they, at the front? Let me see, it was Logan. Yeah, Logan, Bernier, Rubbo was how they were on the grid. Frank Chang did really well. Frank Chang qualified in P9 and came up into P4 in the category. The only thing I would say is if the stewards have anything to say about the contact with Burrows, which they may. They may decide it's a racing incident, but they might look at it and think otherwise. But Frank Chang, the winner from round 1, up into P4 from P9. Good progress on the grid. Mitchell Green ended up in P5, but his championship compared to the Jan Bernier in P2. We'll have a look at the standings in a minute for you, and we can figure out if any of those positions have changed. Well, 2 full-course yellows, 1 for a car stuck in the gravel. That was Esteban Beckman. And 1 for the off that we had. Hopkins, I think it was. That off was in the same position as we saw in qualifying this morning on the exit of 9, which is where Luis Flores says on the onboard lap, you can just jump on the gas here 100%. And, you know, we said as we were analysing during qualifying this morning that actually he was in quite he's a good gear high. He's in the right gear, basically. If you're in too low a gear with the torque that these turbocharged cars can present you with, you can end up facing the wrong way very quickly indeed, and that was what happened that time round. All the cars peeling back into the pit lane. The F1 pit lane. Let's remind you here at COTA, myself and Tony are in that building on the right there at the end. That's where all the TV commentary boxes are. There's a row of like 20 or 25 commentary boxes for when F1 and MotoGP are here. Look at that. That is the sequence of corners down through 2, 3, 4 and 5. And this is the man who conquered them as well as the rest of the track. Johnny Kaminsky takes the win, his 4th win of the season from Manny Franco and Roberto Perina. Then it's Brian Cook, Jeremy Clark had a bad restart, unlucky for him. Falvert, Grinzovich the 3rd, and Esteban Beckman, who spent a lap in the gravel trap, unfortunately. Some of the crowd up on the bridge there, they get a great view of the track. And the cars down into Parc Fermé. Manny Franco parked up, taking off the balaclava and taking the comms out. Trying to listen in on the chat, but it's we haven't quite got good enough sound to hear with the cars rumbling away down there. Always love hearing the chat in the post-race area. So a couple of unfortunate, nothing major really was it, other than the contact, which was high speed, which we were lucky to get away with, but nothing too major with the 2 little restarts in that one. Jay Logan takes the win in Trofeo Pirelli, and from Jan Bernier, Joe Rubo, Frank Chang, Mitchell Green, the championship leader in P5, DL 6th, Chung in 7th, Michael Porter in 8th. And then it's Venceslas, Burrows, Gutierrez, and Hopkins. Jay Logan, the winner here, first win of the season for him, didn't start either of the thermal races, P7 and P9 at Sebring. So it's really gone his way. Good job by Jay Logan. For Bernier, it's his 3rd P2 of the season. For Joe Rubo, I think this might be Rubo's first race because he's not on my list. So, yeah, Rubo's first race this season. So he's done well straight onto the podium. But this man, Kaminsky, win number 4. I think he should be happy with that, Tony, because of what we said about the pressure that comes with 2 restarts.
Of course, and the actual race start, he was able to pull away, was like 3 seconds on the opening lap, and then a lot of pressure from the 2 full course yellows, and just very strong pace, and also controlling his mindset when you have pressure from, let's say, more experienced driver, Manny Franco, having done more endurance and other disciplines of racing. So good job from Johnny Kaminsky.
Congrats all round for the drivers in the Parc Fermé area. There's a mechanical bull next to Parc Fermé. Last week we managed to persuade a couple of our drivers to jump in the pool, most notably our 2 female 1-2 drivers. They jumped in the pool. I don't know if the mechanical bull's on the cards or not. I suspect not. Certainly not today. You wouldn't want to injure yourself before the next one. If you can hear that wonderful howling noise in the background, that is some of the F1 Clienti cars which have just taken to the track in between these 2 races. So we've got V8s, we've even got V10s out there. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled. Nina J. Paul is with our winner for the 4th time this year, Johnny Kaminsky.
Johnny just grabbing his cowboy hat, like father, like son, Johnny. A pole and a win here at COTA. You absolutely dominated that race.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I mean, it was an eventful race, a lot of safety cars, and it's not ideal when you have such a big lead, right? So I'm super proud. I'm super proud of the team, and all my family came here to support. So it's a great day, and hopefully to do it tomorrow.
Well, your championship gap widens, Johnny. You got a pole and a win, clean sweep. What does that do for your momentum?
Yeah, just go back home after this weekend and keep improving, right? I think every weekend that I come, I always try to improve myself, and it's been working. So yeah, I still have tomorrow, so gotta enjoy this, but go back to the hotel and get some good rest. But yeah, it's just unbelievable to be here at COTA with all the Ferrari and C499s and Enzos and La Ferraris go around the track. It's unbelievable, and I'm going to remember this for the rest of my life, wherever it goes. So, yeah, I hope to make a career out of this, and it's such a great step. So, thank you.
You're on the right path, Johnny. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I sense a little bit of emotion there from Johnny Kaminsky, which I like to see, because it just goes to show you that, you know, yes, he's serious, and yes, he's a controlled racing driver, but actually he's really passionate about this. And he said, I hope to make a career out of it. If he continues performing like this, that's not a question of hope, that's a question of when. I'm really impressed.
Yeah, but also at the younger age, it's really good that you have a clear target, what you want to do. Later on, you're pushing towards that, the training, everything you do right now is for a certain target. He has that goal over there to be professional racing driver one day, and he's showing himself off really nicely. He's presenting himself very nicely on these race weekends.
Yeah, he absolutely is. Brilliant job by him, and also by Jay Logan, the winner in Pirelli Am.
Jay Logan, not only a home race win, but your first race win. Congratulations. Talk us through that race.
You know, a big help from my coach. He kind of guided me through the mental aspect of trying to stay on top and not give up any room to anybody. We've been doing this for 4 years, and Ferrari is amazing. The support that we get, the cars are incredible. Being at an event like this, at a track like this, is just a dream come true.
It's so special. I mean, you've had some mixed results earlier on in the season. A pole and a win now, Jay. Is this a total reset?
You know, yes, I would say so. A little more confidence. Knowing this track definitely helps. But, you know, a big props to my team and my coach. And we got some great other drivers that we're racing against. They're always fun to be around, too.
Well, enjoy this, Jay. Your first win. Congratulations.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
Fantastic stuff, and that's the first win in some style, because he had Bernier behind him through the whole race, and not once did he look uncomposed. Like, really, really good drive by Jay Logan for his first win, and as we said, at home as well. Good job.
Yeah, Bernier is a very good reference. He's Mr. Consistency.
Yeah.
He's on it on every track, so that's a good driver to have like a reference point and compare the performance. So Logan can be very happy about his race.
Let's take a look at the championship standings after race number 1 here on weekend number 3. Johnny Kaminsky's gap is 37 points. And then it's saying the same. Okay, so equal on points for Falva and Roberto Perina. Okay, wow, Brian Cook, look, he's just 10 points behind them. Grintovic a little way further back, and then Franco, Weissman and Gray Falva. But a 37-point lead is impressive at the top of the table. David Beaton and Kyle Washington. And, of course, we have our other category, which is Pirelli Am. Mitchell Green are equal on points with Jan Bernier, so we know those two have enjoyed a good title scrap. It's not just them, though, because behind them, equal on points, is Michael Porter and Matthew Diel, and only 3 points behind them is Gutierrez, and a further 3 back to Hopkins. So it is all to play for, wide open. I'd say there's definitely a 4-way battle for P3 here, and at the minute a 2-way battle at the front. And I have to say, impressive from Green and Bernier to go up a category and immediately be at the top of the standings.
Yes, we saw these two drivers fighting last year as well. We see P9 Logan Venclovas and Michael Matthews P11. Yeah, we saw Jan Bernier and Mitchell Green fighting really nice, fair fight throughout the season. And then on the final moments, there were a few things that then decided the championship for Mitchell Green. But great fight, like you mentioned. They moved up a category and they are still there fighting for the top positions. I must say, Mitchell Green maybe needs to calm down a bit, have a perfect qualifying, and then do the most of the job in the race. Again, today, fastest lap time cancelled. fight P5, P6, P7, and it's difficult to overtake these other drivers. Slipstream, we didn't see a big effect of slipstream. No real overtakings into turn 12.
No, which we thought we might see.
There were late dive moves, under braking, and Mitchell for tomorrow needs a good qualifying.
Mitchell might be out now in the F1 cars, because I doubt it. I don't think they would have been back in time. But this is the other thing we mentioned, is Mitchell is driving the 499P Modificata, a Formula 1 car, and the Challenge car. And I think he's having a brilliant weekend, but it's quite hard work. Now, we're not the only people having a brilliant weekend. We mentioned earlier that there is Finale Mondiale, and that's where the various Ferrari challenges from around the world come together to race at the end of the season. So while we're having a Ferrari Racing Days weekend here at COTA in Austin, Texas, USA, over in Spielberg, there is another Ferrari Challenge event happening.
Hello everyone, we are at the beautiful Spielberg, Austria for the third round of Ferrari Challenge Europe. The atmosphere is incredible. All the cars are ready for another amazing racing weekend and of course, pure Ferrari passion. All the teams and the drivers are preparing for a spectacular show on one of the most iconic tracks on the calendar, and we can wait to see all the action unfold. So stay tuned, enjoy the weekend, and greetings from Spielberg from all of us at Ferrari Challenge Europe.
There we go. Greetings back to Ferrari Challenge Europe from all of us here at COTA and Ferrari Challenge North America. Look at that, eh? What a view. What a view. What a view. What a time to be up there. You'll be able to hear those at the far end of the circuit. Mitchell Green's car was a 98 car. You can tell if you're a bit of an F1 buff, you'll be able to tell, for instance, how far back these are because of the lower head restraints on the side, the lack, of course, of the, remind me, I've forgotten the name of the device. Halo. The halo over the top. Just lost my memory there for a second. Yeah, no halo. They look so much more exposed than we've become used to, don't they?
Yeah, and if you put these F1 cars next to the current F1 cars, the difference in size, the width and the length is amazing. This year's F1 cars, a bit more narrow, a little bit shorter wheelbase, down on weight, but the ones before the last year's cars, they were very, very big and amazing ground effect cars, really struggling on the tracks where there were a little bit of bumps because the ride height was really set down as close as you can get.
And you can see under these cars more immediately. You can see the plank, can't you, that's underneath. And
these cars were light, tiny, reactive, and very dynamic. When you were closing on F1 tracks, you can feel the ground shaking.
I was stood outside in the balcony earlier, and it's literally fingers in ears. You forget that it hurts your ears as they come by, which is great. I do it. I love the noise. I'm going to listen to this just for a minute. Just tell me you don't love that. Now, I know the discussion. If you go on any discussion, bring back V10, bring back V8, bring back anything. But it's just
and remember,
and
in this era, there were different tire brands.
Yes.
There were tires with the grooves
and
everything. But these cars were special, for sure.
It's going to be very interesting to see. F1, we know the new regulations have been a bit tricky, I think, at the start of the season. I think that's fair to say. Some of the drivers have been quite vocal about it. Ferrari's in a great position this year. Ferrari and their rivals in the silver cars are right up at the front, of course. But there have been tweaks to the regulations. The teams are having to work so hard. And now there's rumours circulating. They're going, you know what, in 3 years' time, why don't we go back to V8s? I mean, on the basis of this alone, I'm up for it. But it's irrelevant for manufacturers. It's so hard, isn't it? You have to separate being a fan and being a backing the sport with millions of pounds, dollars.
It's very difficult. I mean, the technology goes forward. Formula One, very famous and very typical moves that you have a certain era with some kind of regulations, rules, and a big change of rules where you try to mix the grid. Last year's was amazing to have all 20 cars in 8/10 in qualifying. This year the gaps are bigger. Sometimes the cars are lined up by each team. because there is some difference in performance. But like I said, technology goes forward. I think the human mind wants to always play the game that all the things were better in the past.
Oh, of course.
I don't play that. I
Yeah.
feel that this moment is nice, and we need to look forward as well.
I do, yeah.
Yeah, Formula One needs some sound. We need to maybe rethink few things. Sometimes we want to go forward with a lot of speed, and then we come backwards a bit. We take steps that are too big or go a little bit on the wrong direction.
path, yeah,
but I think Formula One nowadays is so much on the commercial side that if there is something that they feel that is putting them down, they will react very quickly.
Yes.
Because the commercial is so strong. From Bernie Ecclestone's years, now is more commercial, and they feel the fan base, they feel everything. So I would not be worried.
I think they have way better data as well about the fan base, thanks to things like social media engagement. And, they can see how many seconds everybody's been watching anything for. This is one of those things. If this was on Instagram, I would be asking, how long is this real? Because you just would be watching it, with your headphones on. And they're not the easiest things to drive. I think we've got a replay of a spin from somebody earlier on. If you're wondering just how good these guys are, yes, they're very good. But these cars, of course, are designed to be driven absolutely on the limit, and that means it's not always easy. Nice catch, though.
And also a good show that F1 cars, even having a lot of grip at slow speed, high speed, but there's still a driver who takes these cars to the limit. So good show as well. The concept of F1 Clienti is Ferrari sells these cars to the clients.
Yes.
So the current cars, at least it used to be, there's a couple of years of delay. So maybe now with the technology regarding the hybrid and everything, there's more delay. But when there were pure combustion engines, normal engines, you could purchase the car and you get it in a 2-year, 3-year delay. You own the car, but Ferrari does all the operations on it, the engine, gearbox. You can have the car in your living room, you can have the car at your house, but it's highly recommended that when you want to use it and run it, use our Ferrari stuff. Because the tiniest mistake, the way you warm the engine or the gearbox or the oil, that can be a big damage.
And a lot of money.
Again, these events, F1 Clienti, go around the world. Sometimes we have a little bit smaller number of F1 cars, sometimes a huge number of cars, and the cars from very, very old era to all the way to the recent ones. Vettel cars, Kimi's cars, and so on.
I noticed there was the turbo era car out yesterday, and I mean the modern turbo era, so within the last few years, one of those was out, but we have got V8s and V10s here. When we did it in Miami last year, we had 2 F1 cars. This weekend we have 5 here taking part, which is great, just seeing them out and hearing the noise.
Yeah, the modern era cars, they become a bit more tricky with the battery. So Ferrari doesn't sell the battery, they keep it in Maranello. A lot of secrets and technology goes into the battery, but how to use the car is more complicated. So to run the F1 Clienti concept, these cars are the best ones to run. When you add a lot of technology, a lot of hybrid stuff, then it gets more complicated. Let's just keep having the smile.
Bow, 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 bow. It's just so good, isn't it? It's just so good. Listening.
Yeah, these are the same engines that they were at that time. Maybe they're revving a little bit less. They're not revving all the time, quali mode or whatever. So they are down, I don't know, 1,000 RPM or something like that.
Long rebuild schedules then, instead of having to constantly fettle it,
But original engines, original gearboxes attached to the car and the chassis that used to run. And all these cars have a CV, so who drove it, which races, which tested, crashed where, repaired how. All the stories are written and has a high value. Obviously, the Michael Schumacher cars have a very high value. Kimi's cars are high value as well. All the championship winning cars are in auction hitting the biggest numbers. And
well, you're buying a piece of history, but it's a piece of history you can drive, and we love to see them driven. One of the fascinating things about historic motorsport, and I say historic because it doesn't feel like it's that long ago, but I've heard numerous occasions where you have the issues of what do we do with the software, because
you see the front left, little bit of graining. So Filippo Petrucci has really set the rear down on the ground.
Yeah.
Good solid rear with a little bit of understeer.
Bit of push on the car.
We don't want any oversteer here.
No, I get it. Yeah, so to run these cars is sometimes it becomes an issue. Where do you get the laptop? Now that's going to sound mad to you at home, but think how many laptops you've had since 1998, for instance, where Mitchell Green's car is from. You will have had at least 5, if not 9 laptops in that time. And the software in the car moves on so quickly that actually you get to a point where the teams are going, right, we need some historic laptops to run them. And I'm not joking, am I?
No, it is a true thing. And also sometimes for the spare parts, they need to redo the parts the same way they used to be.
Yeah.
Because it's not like you have an unlimited stock.
No.
And yeah, that's the thing. Ferrari has a specific department for this. A lot of the mechanics have experience of several years in F1. They've done the championship for 10 years, 15 years, and now they're part of this F1 Clienti program.
I walked through the area where all those mechanics were having lunch earlier on. It was brilliant. It's literally a hubbub of Italians, eating pasta and talking passionately in Italian. And you're under no doubt at all that they're all from, have a history of Maranello. Very cool. Listen in, people. Enjoy. Well, amazing stuff here with F1 Clienti. Fantastic to see these older F1 cars, noisier F1 cars taking to the track here at the Circuit of the Americas. It really is a brilliant spectacle. Hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed a couple of laps there of us keeping our mouths shut so you can enjoy the music of the old F1 cars. Absolutely fantastic stuff. We are going to take a very short break because we've got Copa Shell coming up shortly, so stay with us. The F1 cars are heading in for a pit stop, so are we. We'll be back shortly. What a track, what a venue, what a brilliant state. Texas here, Circuit of the Americas, just outside Austin, which is a fantastic city to visit. I have to say, very clever move to put a brilliant F1 track next to somewhere which is so worth a weekend trip. And we're enjoying our time here in Austin, and we hope you guys are enjoying watching at home, or if you're here with us at the venue. We just had the Trofeo Pirelli and Pirelli Am race. We've now got Copa Shell and Copa Shell Am to come. And of course, we're on weekend number 3. This is day 1 here at COTA. All of these races are double headers. We started in California at Thermal, then it was Sebring in Florida. Now it's COTA in Texas, Laguna Seca and Sonoma back in California, Road America, and the Finale Mondiale at the Circuit of Barcelona, Catalunya in Spain, over in Europe for that Finale Mondiale event. My name's Andrew Coley, alongside me is Tony Villander, and we're taking another look here at the Circuit of the Americas. If you've missed it, we were just watching an F1 car circulate around here, and of course that's where this track was designed originally.
Yeah, this track was designed by Hermann Tilke, a company or gentleman who has designed many of the modern F1 tracks. Corners like 11, turn 1, really wide in the braking zone, a lot of overtaking opportunities, elevation changes here. This track has taken influence on small parts, but on many tracks around the world. Silverstone, you mentioned some other tracks as well. Hockenheim, Bahrain, maybe.
Yes, it was Bahrain, yeah, Hockenheim,
Turkey,
Bahrain and Turkey.
Turkey.
Yeah.
So we have hard braking zones, tight corners, and acceleration. Then we have a flow of medium to high speed corners, and we have a very long right-hander where you can have, again, many racing lines, and it takes, it's very hard on tires, the long right-hander 17, 18. Also track limits sometimes when the race director or the stewards are really strict on track limits. It can be an issue here. Here with Ferrari Challenge, we allow the drivers to use a little bit more space in the exit of the corners, so no real calls in qualifying or in the race for track limits. And the racing itself in the Pirelli race proved to be very good. Few offs in turn 8 or exit of turn 9,
yeah,
where the driver's riding the exit curb, spinning the car and then hitting the tire barriers or the wall inside. Apart from that, no big issues so far.
No, one side-by-side contact on the exit turn, wasn't there? And that was it, really.
Turn 2, if you go downhill side by side, the driver on the left-hand side cannot close the normal racing line. You need to leave the space, and that was the issue with Cheng and Barros.
Yeah.
But apart from that, good solid run in the race 1 of Pirelli and Pirelli Am.
Right, let's head down to Nina J. Paul. She's in pit lane.
Well, what a race one. We saw championships lead extend and some championship leads lessen. Now we look to Copa Shell. Blake Rosser starts in P2. He is leading his class by 12 points. And then we have Melissa Kozira, who took that double win in Sebring. She's leading her class by a mere 2 points. And there's a very special feature on Melissa Kozira coming up.
Melissa Kozira takes the win at Sebring. She took a double victory in Italy last year, but that's her first win on US soil.
Sebring was special. First American win. I had a 9-second lead, and I'm like, oh, I hope this stays green. I hope it stays green. And then, of course, we get a full course yellow, and so it was like, I got to kill this restart. And then, of course, I had an amazing restart, and that just set the weekend off.
Melissa Kozira makes it 2 at Sebring, but history to be made here. Jamie Garrett will cross the line in P2. It's a first ever 1-2 for female drivers in Ferrari Challenge.
Sunday, I just came out and I said I have to qualify better. So that's what I did. I came out, qualified 5th. I passed P4 and came in P3, stayed there the entire race. Then just out of nowhere, I looked, came around this corner, and I was P2 all of a sudden, and I think my jaw just dropped.
Race 2 was fun because full sweep, and then we had a 1-2 finish, but we think that it's first time in Ferrari Challenge history that we had a 1-2 for female racers on
American soil, right?
Yeah.
It was a big, big win for me, and I think for us.
Yeah.
But I'm glad that, you know, her and I are here doing this together, and I'm proud to call her one of my very best friends.
We're neighbors, and we never even knew we were neighbors until we did Ferrari. And that kind of sums it up, really.
Yeah.
It's a big family.
Shake and bake.
Shake and bake indeed, and they were the only drivers who were up for jumping in the pool, which was great. The swimming pool's right there next to the podium. You know, you've seen Monaco. Monaco's coming up, isn't it, I think? Yeah, Monaco's coming up. You've seen Monaco. Everybody jumps in the pool. I was like, surely they're all going to jump in the pool, but it was only the girls who jumped in the pool after they did that historic 1-2. Yeah, brilliant job. And Kozira is on pole here again, Tony, and continues to be impressive.
Yeah, first of all, Sebring was a really difficult task for our Challenge drivers, and they did super well. This is one of the most demanding tracks in the racing world. And then coming to here, Melissa Kozira is riding the wave of success. When you get good results and your confidence level goes up, you can be on top on every track. And even the qualifying session was cut short. She had the pace at the right time. I think she was ready to improve. She was in a form to improve her lap time a lot, but then the red flag and the session was stopped, but she did it the right way. Sometimes there is issues on track and you need to be ready. Few drivers complaining, and in the end they didn't post a lap time, but this is the things that can happen. This weekend, super tight schedule, and we're trying to avoid all the delays.
Indeed. Decisive lap early on, get it done, limit the risks of not getting a lap. We're looking at a go in about 3 minutes' time. maybe 4.
Yeah, when the drivers do the recon lap, after that, no real changes on the race car. Last check on the wheels, everything is tight, tire pressures maybe, but now it's just a concentration on the race start itself. A rolling start, as we know. Breaking into turn 1, you can...
That's brilliant.
The cars.
That's brilliant, isn't it?
Like, what is it, Lightning McQueen?
Yeah. Okay, I'm into it. I'm into it. That wins my prize of the day for just being cool. And look at the other side of the car too. That's great, isn't it? The full-on Lightning McQueen, brilliant. Right, okay. I now need to see. I now need to see Lightning McQueen taking some sort of a victory, Tony. That's it. I've been fully distracted. That is great.
And a big grid for this Copa Shell start.
Yeah, I was looking at the timing screen now. We have a very good timing screen which has a lot of rows on it, and we still have to scroll to get to the bottom. There are 36 cars on the grid here. It's kind of a 50-50 split. There's 15 cars in Shell and just a couple more in 2 or 3 more in Shell Am. Great at maths, as you can tell. But either way, yeah, big grids for both categories. There will be a gap in between them. They'll have had a little look as well at that first encounter, and of course lots of these cars have cars that run in the Pirelli category as well, so they'll have an idea of what the tyre wear is like. We didn't really, I think because of the full course yellows, Tony, we didn't really end up seeing anything to do with you know, how much the tyre was going to drop off with these high temperatures.
Yeah, we had 2 times the safety car on track. I didn't see any big issues. Let's see here, Pirelli Am drivers maybe balancing their driving a little bit better, and these drivers just going for it flat out for the whole race distance. So let's see if there will be any issues. Main and the most difficult part here is the turn 17 and 18, where you keep dragging that front left tire and a very long radius corner, high speed corner, so that takes a lot of effort from the front tires.
Sun visors going on the cars. It is still cloudy here, but I say we had 47 degrees as track temperature on the last one. I can't see any reason for it to be any cooler now than it was then. Normally you get the blowers into the car. There we go, thumbs up. That's Blake Rosser, who I saw earlier on. Had a great chat with Blake. Did some racing, wanted to go full-on racing in his 40s, but circumstances didn't go the way that he wanted, so he's back now with a vengeance and doing an absolutely brilliant job. Thoroughly enjoying his time here with Ferrari Challenge. We had a lovely chat whilst we were up watching the F1 cars right at the back of the grandstand over lunch. Hoping for a good result here, of course. Just a final look at the cars before we get them rolled out onto the grid. Of course, we've got engines to start before then. Here is Andrew Parker's fantastic livery. Look at that, ice cream splattered up front with the sprinkles down the side. I think I'd go for, I could have an ice cream. We've discussed this before, haven't I? Every time I see it, I think I really want one.
This is a great show of what the coaches are telling to the drivers before the start. Stay focused, take the inside or the middle lane, or stay outside. Outside turn 1, inside turn 3, single line through the S's. So these are the things that the driver coaches advise to the drivers before the start, and then they have the radio connect. They are connected with the radio with the driver all the time, so giving advice.
Yeah, everybody get themselves good to go, and we are about to go. Let's head down to pit lane now. Nina J. Paul's down there.
Well, what a day it has been so far, and it is by far than over. So, for the second time today, drivers, start your Ferrari engine.
Jade with the mic down there to the pipes as we get things underway. The rumble of the 296 Challenge engines being fired up. Of course, they're slightly different to the road car. If you're familiar with the road car setup, it's not a hybrid here in the race car. The hybrid element is taken away to save weight. But the performance of the internal combustion side of the car, of course, is improved as well. They are very, very quick. For a one-make series car, it's about as quick as it gets. It really is. You can see the split in the grid there where the missing car is. That's the back of the Shell grid at the start of the Shell AM grid. We said it's Melissa Kozira on pole for Shell AM. The back of the grid there was Mike Lully, who you saw, who's driven every single Ferrari Challenge type of car there is. So the chassis, of course, have changed over the years as the product that Ferrari is selling has changed, and the product it's racing. Win on Sunday, sell on Monday still counts. Michael Owens is on the pole for Copa Shell, and this is going to be a fun encounter. Let's get going, shall we? Race 2, day 1. It's time for our first Copa Shell encounter here at COTA, Circuit of the Americas, Austin, Texas. Ferrari Racing Days weekend number 3 of Ferrari Challenge North America 2026. The cars are on their outlap and we are getting good to go. Looking forward to it. My name's Andrew Coley, Tony Verlander alongside me in commentary, and we have Nina J. Paul reporting from the pits. Here's your lineup then. On the pole, Michael Owens with Blake Rosser alongside. Rosser looking for a good result. He's got 3 wins this year already. We then have Charlie Minard and Brad Evans on row 2. Row 3 is Kevin Orsini and Roy Carroll. On to row 4, inside Javier Rodriguez Borgio. Outside is Chuck Whittle in his T-car. Ryan Dayton inside on row 5. Outside is Lewis Flory. And on row number 6 here, Joel Rose and Glenn Moss. Huge entry, remember. Row 7, Andrew Parker and Rodin Unesi. Parker took the win last time out in Sebring, long way back on the grid this time round. Mike Lully at the rear of Copa Shell, Melissa Kozira on the pole for Copa Shell, and then it's Tim Dwight and Lance Crawley. Fabian Sperman and Henry Hummel. Joseph O'Neill and Danny Patel. Danny Patel's through in this morning, very pleased with his qualifying performance. Felt he could have gone quicker. Lewis Peruskia and Adam Befella. Bernard Gomez and Steve Check on row 13. Row 14, John Lennon and Daniel Roberts. Row 15, Jamie Garrett and Jeffrey Nunberg. Row 16 is Kenneth Sweder and Michael Moyes. Row 17, Jeffrey Kiel and Paul Lynn. And on row 18, Helen Chu and Edvard Tugian. An absolutely huge grid here for the Copa Shell race. Heading down the back straight again, Tony, get the tyres warmed up, get the brakes warmed up. Less experienced than the drivers in Pirelli, we know that, but we have seen the likes of Mitchell Green and Jan Bernier take that step up and immediately be on the pace. That's what we're looking for, is progression through these classes. So yes, they're still learning. They are by no means novices, these guys. They've come through Corsa Pilota, and lots of them then have gone to Club Challenge into this, and they're moving up the ladder as they go. So it's exciting to see such a big grid. Very promising future for the series.
Yeah, you need to stay concentrated. What the race... what the stewards want to see is 2 solid racing lines, nobody jumping out from the line, accelerating too early. You need to have the right settings on the car, so stay focused, concentrated. Don't let the nervousness get you. Don't do anything funny, basic stuff, and then what to choose. You can watch videos from the previous years, what happens at the starts and so on, but then all the decisions are made very quickly. Where is the open space to stay inside or go all the way outside? Manny Franco at the Pirelli start, I think, went all the way from the outside and had a good start. So from P4 he was able to get 1 place already at turn 1. So let's see for our Copa Shell drivers. We are closing to the last 2 corners of the track and we are getting ready for the start.
We are indeed. Everybody keeping it tight. Outside, as we said, is Blake Rosser. Inside is Michael Owens. Into that final corner. Behind them, Charlie Minard and Brad Evans. They're waiting for the green flag. They'll be able to see it from where they are. It's right at the front of the pit straight. 2 pretty solid lines, and now everybody breaks cover as the green flag comes. Looks to me like Blake Ross has been left a little bit up behind there. Menard has got through on the inside line. He has Charlie Menard into P2. Rosser goes deep, going for the long way round. Blake Rosser with a bit of understeer, uses the pavement on the outside line, but he gets inside Charlie Menard. Will he be past Menard or not? No, he's had to drop in. So Menard gets P2, Rosser goes into P3, and your leader there is Michael Owens. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side of your screen, here comes Copa Shell Am with Melissa Kozira on the pole. Kozira will want to hold on to this position as she runs down to turn 1. Tim Dweek on her left-hand side. Kozira going nice and late on the brakes. Dweek gets mugged from behind, so Dweek's lost a couple of positions there. Looks like Fabian Sperman maybe came through. 3 cars wide. Melissa Kozira completely in the clear while it all kicks off behind her. So Kozira with a great start and not quite so for some of the drivers behind her. But pretty sensible stuff all round, Tony, to be fair.
Yeah, good starts on both categories, Copa Shell and Copa Shell Am. No big contacts. Very well managed in Copa Shell by Melissa, and also a good run from Owens. Melissa was under a lot of pressure from the drivers behind, but she maintained the optimum racing line and had a good acceleration coming out of turn 1. And now we see fight for the lead.
Yeah.
Whoa, 3
Rosser
side by side.
Inside. Blake Rosser going for a 3 deep pass. Blake Rosser with a brilliant move from 3rd up into the lead. Blake Rosser goes deep though. He's across the inside on the run of area. Rosser to the inside line. Around the outside though, loses the position back again. Wow, all kicking off. Charlie Menard, I think it is there. Charlie Menard into the lead. So Menard takes the lead there. Rosser was briefly in the lead, drops down to P2. And Owens has dropped down to 3rd place.
Yeah, big changes in the lead. Oh, one car off, 119.
Road, 119 is, looking down my list, not on my list for the entry. Yes, he is Luis Peruskia, and another car as well. That's been reversed off. That's great stuff. Reversing it off helps everybody. Managed to keep racing as we see passes and contact. 137 up the inside. That's Tim Dweet.
Yeah,
the car that's the contact is with, is it 119? Yeah, it is. That's Peruskia.
Yeah, that was turn 11. Now we have full course yellow. Turn 11. Yeah, just unfortunate contact there in the tight hairpin.
Okay, so everybody can take a breath now, as we say. I think, was it Orsini that's running the Lightning McQueen colours? I think it is, as we're up in turn 1. Timing screen should have updated quickly. Pretty sure it is. Okay, everybody calm down and we'll go again. You ride on board now with the leader, Charlie Menard. Charlie Menard, the only car in front of him is, of course, the safety car. This is up the inside just too late.
Yeah, too late. He overtook the car behind and he just ran too deep.
Puncture front right, that's unfortunate. Yeah. So Peruskia, where he's been hit sideways, has rolled the tyre off the rim, it looks like, with the impact.
Yeah, there was overtaken, but then he came just too deep and then collected the other car.
Would have been a good block pass if there had been space in front.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get ourselves focused and ready to go. We're just checking some data here in the commentary box and then we will be good to go. Got to get those cars cleared off. First of all, let's take a look at what order we are in. So Charlie Menard leads Copa Shell from Michael Owens and Blake Rosser after a decent 3-way fight between them at the end of the straight. I think turn 12 was it? I think, yes it was.
And I think Michael Owens was already down to P3. Maybe he had to give the place back going off the track at P2.
Yes,
turn 12.
You might be right. Maybe. You might be right. And then in Shellam, we've got Kozira leading from Sperman and Corley. And let's look at the championship standings for that. At the minute, it is Kozira leading Sperman by 2 points, 3, because she would have had the pole this morning. So Kozira and Sperman is turning into a really good fight. And Sperman, to be fair, he made that brilliant move up the inside in turn 1.
Yeah, and brake really deep. he braked really close to the back of Melissa Kozira's car, and now the restart, there's no more glass split, so all the cars together in a single line, and a very, very crowded start, so
yeah,
it will be exciting to follow.
Only 38 cars to identify, Tony, on the run up to turn 1. I'm sure we'll be absolutely fine. Melissa Kozira did a very good job at the start. This will be disappointing for her, of course, because she really did get away, and Sperman's dive from P4 to P2 was really impressive, but it compromised the other drivers who were in and around Melissa, which was great for her. She had a few car lengths breakaway. Good move by Sperman, I say, to get up those 2 positions in the first corner. There he is now in behind Melissa Kozira.
But Melissa has had a very good races, no real mistakes, and even under pressure in the restart, she has actually been the driver that has been very calm and also the right way aggressive. When there's been a chance to overtake, she has done it straight away and performed really well so far this year, and always happy when we meet her in Casa Ferrari. She is the perfect example when you're enjoying what you're doing.
I was going to say she's in a good place, and I think when you're in a good place, you just enjoy things a little bit more, don't you? So enjoying stuff leads to good performances, and that's what she's got so far. But she's got a restart to deal with, and we're definitely going to be going for another lap around here under full course yellow, which is a shame. It's eating into their race time, but then on the other hand, obviously we've got to get the track clear and safe for them, and it will mean they're probably less likely to need to do any kind of tyre management. Long stream of 38 of these challenge cars. They're in the pit garage, as you can see at this end. So the tents out the front are where the teams operate from. The Ferrari Challenge teams all used to operating from tent to track side with all their data inside, and of course some of the things that they need should a car have to come in. There's Jamie Garrett with the purple, white and black car, the P2 finisher last time out with that brilliant 1-2 for her and Melissa Kozira. Lewis Flory there with the blue wheels, picking out a few drivers for you through the field while we can. Just in front of Melissa Kozira is Glenn Moss. Let's take, we're going to see if in a minute, we're going to see if we can try and see the start again from Am, just to see what Fabian Sperman did. So have a look for Sperman. Sperman is outside on row 2. So Melissa Kozira gets a good start. She pushes everyone wide, which is good. Look at Sperman here. Gives a squeeze to the inside cars. What does he do? It just goes really late on the brakes. It actually does well to avoid Kozira. He does use the apron on the runoff, but I don't know, it's turn 1. I mean, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, he chose the right lanes at the right time. There was a little, it looked at one moment that everything is going to get a bit squeezed behind Melissa's, like when Melissa was braking into turn 1, but then suddenly she was able to brake really late, and Fabian Sperman found the place and the right enough space for him, and just braking really deep. And also this fact that at the start you can use a little bit more the runoff area. You can go a little bit outside the track limit, so that helped Sperman to gain the P2.
It did indeed. So we still got that car at the end of the straight, unfortunately, the one that had the puncture from the contact. So what they're going to do to clear that, hopefully put a rope on it and drag it off. I imagine the rim is already a little bit damaged. That they won't want to do any more damage. The safety crews always do a brilliant job of trying to keep the damage to a minimum when they pick the cars up, because obviously if you've gone off and had your race ended, you're already a bit disappointed, and the last thing you need is any more damage on the cars. So they're very good at that, but that will mean that they'll just make sure that everything is slowly made okay. Lights are still on the safety car. Really hoping that they might have been able to get this done on this lap. As we come through turn 16, it is on the fly. You could do that. They won't, though. If it's not clear, I don't think they'll do it. They've got to get that car completely clear. If they knew the trucks were going to be gone, they could switch the lights off on the safety car. We haven't seen it yet. Hopefully we'll see it in just a moment. That's the 103 of Michael Owens. Definitely a couple of new liveries in here. Owens and Rosser have got a bit more going on the cars than they had before. Oh, lock wheel in the background there. Did you see that? That was Kevin Orsini locked his wheel in Lightning McQueen. So Orsini just trying to get temperature into everything and almost getting himself into trouble. Are we still going to see the full course yellow? I think we are. Yes, we are. So you think Rosser and Owens have changed position, maybe, Tony?
Yeah, the timing and scoring is showing that now Owens is back to P3.
Yeah, so maybe had a radio call then saying give the position up or you'll get a penalty, which is fine.
Yeah, so we're getting these 4-minute laps now behind the safety car. So like you mentioned, the clock is ticking. The clock is going down, and there is less than 20 minutes into this left in this race. They were collecting the car. It was already on the flat bed, so hopefully in the next 4 minutes we get the call that next time by we go back to racing. Safety car switches off the light and we are good to go.
But yeah, another lap behind it though, isn't it?
It will be a 15-minute sprint.
Okay, here we go then. So in the pits, having a wheel changed on the front right. The 137. That's Tim Dweet with the Senna livery on the car. If you look on the other side of that car, is ask him where the gun is, I think. So look at the damage on the front right there. It was a fair old impact. They'll have to maybe he may not re-enter. It may be that they're just putting a wheel on it so they can get it back to the paddock, but checking everything out. And this is, I think, the braking zone down into 11. It is indeed. So we've still got half a lap to go under safety car, and then we'll be away again. Racing again on this lap. They haven't done a full speed lap yet, Tony, because everybody's lap times are showing as fast as laps 3 minutes 50, so that's because of the incidents, and the safety car were out immediately at the start of this encounter. It has halved the race duration, meaning now you could have a flat out push as hard as you wanted to and hopefully not wear out the rubber.
Yeah, the drivers are getting ready, so stay on the racing line. You can see the cars weaving from left to right, so they're trying to create some heat, but at the same time clean the surface of the tire. Driver does feel, even at this slow speed, if the car is reacting well or if there's a lot of pickup, so the pieces of rubber collected from the track. Normally after safety car, the first lap is a bit tricky to get everything working properly. You need to be a little bit careful with the braking points and how much you can lean, much pressure you can put on your race tires before they are up to temperature again. Here we see different approach. Leader can decide the speed and almost where to accelerate. So Menard really going slow, maybe learn from Kaminsky that from the last turn, full throttle.
Look at this as well, the difference between P1 and P3, and now everybody gets the message, get yourself right across. Blake Rosser dropping into that line late, and everybody smoothly away. Green flag conditions here at COTA, so we get Copa Shell back underway, and big gaps between them as they run up to turn 1. So Ross has done well to get away with Menard. I would say Owens and Orsini behind a bit too close for their liking. Fabian Sperman about to lose a position. Sperman, Kozira out front. Who's with Sperman? Hummel, maybe. I think it's Henry Hummel's got up the inside of Fabian Sperman. So Melissa Kozira leads. Sperman now looking to try and make the pass back again. But Kozira leads crucially. She has held on at that restart nicely. And here, as we say, is the point they're able to cut the curbs a little bit because they didn't put the extra tall curbs in. They can remove those curbs, and everybody able just to, in the S's, take a slightly straighter line through there. Okay, Melissa Kozira will be pleased with that. Tim Dweet is still showing us in the pit. We saw the front right being changed on that car. Now, Kozira's issue here, potentially, is she's now right up with the back of the grid. Let me see what the lap times are like. Kozira's pole, yeah, was a 2:08.1. So she's quicker than at least 3 or 4 of the cars in front of her, Tony. And she won't want to be held up by them when she's trying to get away from the cars behind her. Tricky times.
Yeah, this has been an issue sometimes when the actual leader in Shell is faster than the cars ahead, so she needs to be really wise in traffic and create her own space.
Chuck Whittle there and Andrew Parker in a bit of a fight. Whittle, remember, in the T car, so he's got inside Parker, but Parker has the inside line as they come back around. Whittle going for the wide line. I'm pretty sure it's Chuck from that angle. Yes, it is. So Chuck Whittle slots in behind. Lewis Flory is there as well. There's definitely been some positions changed since the start of the lap. Glenn Moss at the bottom there. I'm not sure about that. He's got two track limits penalties and fastest lap. But remember, we've only been behind the safety car, so that could be incorrect data on that. So don't take too much notice of that. And obviously, the fastest lap's going to disappear very quickly when we get back into doing quick racing laps. This first one here should see the time change immediately. Charlie Menard leads from Rosser and Owens. Orsini in P4. Orsini with Borgio behind. And Melissa Kozira has a little gap in the background. I can just see her has gone over the start-finish line. Kozira, it was Hummel that got past Sperman in row 1. And then it's Nürnberg, Corley, Garrett, Steve Check, O'Neill, Sweden, Moyes. All going on.
Can you please check where Nürnberg started? I think he was P14 in...
Let me have a look. Yeah, he was further down the grid than he normally is, wasn't he?
Because he didn't set a time before the red flag.
Oh, he started at the back.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it was P15. He was on the back
yeah,
row.
He's P4.
That's amazing by Nürnberg. Wow. We need to take a look at that. But I think there's so many cars, it'd be hard to see how he did it. But that's incredible.
I met him in Casa Ferrari, and he said once again, Tony, look for me, car 141, I will put a show.
He has put a show on. Unfortunately, I think we might have missed him with all the show that was going on at the front, but that's incredible to move up from where he was. So P15 at the start and up all those places. We've got our graphic which shows how far people go up and down. There it is, right on cue. Jeffrey Nürnberg up 11 positions. Lynn as well going up 7 positions. Moyes and Sweden. Jamie Garrett up 8. Up 8 positions. Danny Patel down 8 positions. So yeah, Garrett and Patel with completely opposite fortunes there. Kozira still the leader. And the gap which came over the line last time round was 0.9 of a second. We see the cars coming down that back straight. Here is Kozira, but Kozira is definitely behind traffic now. So Kozira has come up behind the back of the pack, so this will be Glenn Moss and Mike Luley in front of her. She's going to need, I think, to dispatch them and try and get a tail gunner effectively to stop the likes of Sperman and Co trying to come past. Hummel and Sperman will be hunting now. I think Sperman has got back past Hummel because Nürnberg is in behind. Yeah, he has. That is in the 184. That is Fabian Sperman. So Sperman has passed Hummel somewhere on this lap and is into P2, and he will know now that Kozira has got pressure because she's in behind. He closes down Sperman looking for the inside line. Melissa Kozira sticks to her line though, and she may have compromised herself there with exit speed. She's done well to get away, so Kozira getting out, spin in the background. Garrett's gone round, and the 147 went round with her as well. So Jamie Garrett tumbling down the order with O'Neill has gone round too. It's O'Neill who was on the left-hand side with the 147. Ah, no, and the 121 is off as well. Roy Carroll has gone off and he's lost his rear wing, so he may have hit the barrier. We'll have to see what happens here. That's the exit of turn 1.
Yeah, very unusual place.
Let's take a look at what happened. We're going to see a replay. So he's outside here. Does he spin? Yeah, he spins. Oh, no. Oh, is that Parker that's clipped him? It is. So poor Andrew Parker there's lost the front left corner of his car, and obviously great shame there on the exit to have had that moment. Now in traffic, look, Kozira is still in position. I think she's still leading the category. Sperman in tight behind her with it all kicking off in front. Now things are going to get tough. There's the front left corner missing off Parker. Parker loses a position. Carnage here in the braking zone. Kozira is in this mix here. So Melissa Kozira's got a gaggle of cars fighting at turn 11 on the exit. Kozira sweeping across to the right-hand side. We might see on the flip-flop here where she is. There's Parker with the damaged car. Kozira 2 cars behind. Might be 4 cars wide. Kozira's got to watch out here in the background. She's under pressure from Sperman with the blue nose and the Addis Tech across the front. Inside line for Melissa Kozira, going to make a pass on Parker here. Nicely done. Parker being a real gentleman here. He knows he's got damage and he's dropping down the order, but there's still action going in front of Kozira as Sperman closes down again. Melissa's got to find a decisive way past these cars. This is tough position to be in.
Very exciting fight, and like we mentioned, full course yellow.
Okay. And Spurman trying to come through, but I think the yellow's out already.
Yeah.
So if Spurman passes there, he will have to drop back a position. She may have seen it and he hasn't. And that's because, unfortunately, Roy Carroll's car is still stuck on the outside of turn 1. Just got out on maybe what would be the dirty track.
Yeah, very exciting fight because Melissa couldn't really maybe...
What's happened here? Is that Spurman?
Maybe Spurman was on at full speed. Yeah, he was at full speed.
He's dropped in behind. I don't think Spurman knew. He's going to have to give that position up to Kozira for me because we saw full course yellow on the graphics and the timing screens before he made that pass, in our opinion.
Yeah. But exciting fight because Melissa couldn't really go her own speed, and there were drivers from Copa Shell that were fighting for their position, so she had to avoid all the contacts. You can see that she drives very wisely. She's there in the right distance, but never too much, and she has the margin. So now the cars are in the right place in Copa Shell as well. So Melissa leading.
Yeah, Fabian Spurman's given up the positions. Good lad. So they'll have given a radio call and gone, Fabian, you've missed the full course yellow. You must give the position back, and that's what he's done. So this, again, should be a relatively quick clear up. They're close to turn 1. There's nearly always rescue vehicles in pit lane or in that area, so they should be able to blast up and grab it. But we have had a few cars recovered already.
Yeah, let's see, because the car that damaged in the exit of 1, was it Carroll?
Yes.
So it looked like it got stuck in the gear because there was heat also in the rear of the car. And the way the car stopped, let's see if they can get it on neutral or the way they can load it on the flatbed or the recovery vehicle. But it will take a few minutes, I think.
I'm actually quite surprised. We've had more full course yellows than I thought we would have here because it's been an F1 circuit. So to have the amount of runoff you normally have here, but they've been unlucky. You know, a couple of the incidents have happened.
But also corners like this, if you see, you can put 6 challenge cars here, so you can really dive deep from the long distance.
It's like the forbidden fruit, isn't it? Oh, I can go, and then it's like, no, there isn't room on the exit.
Yeah. So some of the contacts we had on the opening lap were cars overtaking and then overshoot the braking point a little bit and touching the car that was already in the corner. So
yeah, Titans is what we would say in terms of a rally pace note, and it's what we say in terms of the way a corner is. So if the radius of the corner tightens on the exit, it tightens. So yeah, that's a bit of a shame. They need to get a wiggle on here. He's out of the car, and obviously that's the most important thing, but I think a restart here is going to be
it's tough.
Unlikely.
It's either one lap or something like
one lap's fine. We did have fun with one lap in Pirelli.
But it will be tight.
Yeah. I'm sure at this point...
Because also it's a form, we have 7 minutes on the clock. This one to finish, there will be 1 minute left after the next one.
All right, well, we'll see. We might get one more lap. If we do get one more lap, this is what it's going to look like, but with much more cars. We rode on board earlier on this weekend with Lewis Flory. Here he is with his blue wheels. He can guide us around Circuit of the Americas while we wait for that car to be picked up in turn 1.
Hey guys, Lewis Flory here, car number 183, racing with Comp. Here we are back where it all began for me, Circuit of the Americas, and I'm going to take you on a lap around this track. So coming up the front straight, heading into turn 1, what you're looking for is a mark of about 125 feet for your brake zone. Coming in, trying to catch tight to this apex. I don't use all the track out this side to set myself up for going into turn 2. Turn 2, trying to be as strong on the throttle as you can, but get down to this curve and track all the way out. Coming wide for 3. It's a half crack of the throttle, then touch the brakes going into the S's here. Find your way coming out. Here you got to be patient, stay a little bit wide, then bring it back in, throttle down, trying to get down to turn 7, catch just that apex right there, coming up into 3rd gear here, bring it over to the right, getting as far inside as I can, and then flat on the gas all the way down, trying to get down to turn 10 as fast as possible, using every bit of the track that they're allowing us. Braking right here at the grass, hard on the brakes, bring it in tight, catch this apex, and jump on the gas as fast as you can for that famous back straight going down here at COTA. Going down the back straight, it's a long straight, but what you're looking for is you're looking for that 150-foot marker. And once again, as we come up to it, we're going to get very heavy on the brakes, very aggressive on the brakes. Stay wide, stay patient, catch this inside apex, and again, come out wide and send it on down the next corner. Here, it's a light use of the brake, but it's a long braking area to get that nose down into that apex, and then you're trying to find the grip and get it all the way down to the next corner. Here, another kind of light but long braking zone, catching that apex, and then hard on the gas as fast as you can and set it up wide to be ready to bring it in for the carousel. Through the carousel, it's a little bit of management of throttle and grip, trying to stay on the very edge of grip with the throttle as aggressive as you can, and now comes down to a super fast corner, 4th gear, turn 19, use all the track out to the right. Coming up here, we're going to brake right on the sidewalk with the right for turn 20, 3rd gear, apex, and very aggressively throttle out using every bit of the track. And that is a lap at the Circuit of the Americas.
It is a lap at the Circuit of the Americas. We were hoping for one more here, but this is the braking zone down, and unless the lights go out on this lap, I think they'll drop the checker as they come round this time, because they'll know that they won't get another one in. I wonder if it might be relief from Melissa Kozira. She's doing a brilliant job here with the yellow strip across the front of the car of holding off from Fabian Sperman. With the first restart, she was backed into the pack, into the back of the Shell category, which she is quicker than, and that means that she was under a bit of pressure. Couldn't run her own lines, as Tony was explaining, but also not only that, carnage kicked off, didn't it, in front of her, 3-4 cars wide. Andrew Parker was doing his best to stay out of the way of everyone after he had contact in the first corner, which wasn't his fault, I have to say. He was unlucky. The car span in front of him, and he ended up hitting it. So we have about a minute to go to see whether the lights are going to go out or not. I wonder how that recovery's looking. So it is going on to the trailer, we're hearing from our TV directors. There they are. Nope, that's not going to happen, I think. So certainly not this lap. Tony, you might be right about it's difficult, isn't it? Well, let's see whether they'll certainly put them, and they may put the white flag out and just drive another lap behind the safety car, but if they do, the safety car is obviously not coming in. Unless they allow them just to race from turn 20 to the finish line, but that seems a bit mean.
Yeah, let's wait and see. Still 2.5 minutes, but I think it's yeah, they have still some work to do to clean the car from turn 1. Yeah, sometimes we have the expectation that the track is allowing us most likely to do all green flag race, and then there's more stuff going on. And Sebring, we were expecting probably a race like this, and we had a good run.
Yeah, absolutely.
So maybe the runoff areas and a little bit of optimism sometimes creates these situations.
Well, the checker flag is dropped because they know they're not going to get another racing lap in. So Charlie Menard takes from Blake Rosser and Michael Owens. There's high fives in the pit area, and Shellam is going to go to Melissa Kozira from Fabian Sperman and Henry Hummel, so a slight extension of Melissa's championship lead. They're all flashing their lights down there. Of course, it's a shame to finish under full course yellow conditions, but the safety of the drivers is paramount, and that is the decision that is taken. So there we go. Podium's done for race number 2 here. Well, race number 2 today, race number 1 in terms of our weekend. We'll get those cars round and into the holding area. Well, there we go, Tony. That's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah, there was actually the opening lap fight for the race win. So Michael Owens starting from pole. He lost a couple of places, P3, and then a good fight between Menard and Rosser for the Shell win. Melissa had a very good run into turn 1. Fabian Sperman had a good dive into turn 1 in the braking zone, and no damage between these drivers, and then another win for Melissa. Since Mugello, other races, there's a lot of wins.
5 wins, isn't it, in the last, how many
7 starts maybe, or something like that.
Yes, good look at you.
He's a good boy.
Tony Verlander with the maths live on air. Notoriously the hardest job of being a television announcer is live maths. I'm happy to admit maths was not my favourite subject at school. That's why I love a timing screen. Timing screen does all the adding up for you.
My strongest part was sports, but too much energy.
Oh,
according
really?
to the teacher.
Is that what they said?
never obeying the rules.
Okay, that's terrible. I think I may have done too much talking, but it's kind of worked out okay in the end.
Yeah, you're never going to get your money by talking. Here we go, teacher.
So yeah, come on then. Let's have a chat. I still think it's quite mad. I do love motorsport. I feel myself. I feel very lucky to get to talk about it for a living, aren't we, Tony? Eh?
Yes.
We are indeed. Let's take a look at the results then. As you can see, Blake Rosser there pulling up alongside his competitor Charlie Menard. Blake Rosser and Michael Owens, the top three. Then it's Orsini, Borgio, Evans, Dayton and Whittle, the top 8 in Copa Shell. Remember, we've got tons of drivers in this. Flora, Unesi, Rose, Lully, Moss, Parker and Carroll. Results by Faye, of course, in the background there. You can see the Faye branding down the side of the track as well. That's down at the braking zone in turn 12. And in Shell, it is Melissa Kozira taking the win from Fabian Sperman and Henry Hummel. She did have to fight for it on that restart. Then Nürnberg with a brilliant drive. Nürnberg, we've had about 3 racing laps, maybe 4 or 5, and he's made it up from P15 to P4. I think he might have gone further if he'd had the chance. Korlicek, Sweden and Lenny are top 8. And then let's have a look. Gomez, Moyes, Roberts, O'Neill, Befella, Patel and Garrett down to P16. Kiel, Chu, Lennon, Dweet, Peruskia and Vartugian. Texas, COTA, and a great weekend for Ferrari Racing Days. If you weren't with us at the start of this show or the end of the previous show, we had some wonderful laps from the Formula 1 cars out on track, screaming round. Do go take a look at that. In the meantime, we're getting ourselves ready for podiums here on day 1. Day 2 tomorrow, we're going to do it all again. We've got qualifying early in the morning. And you can join us to see who's going to get the pole positions. Qualifying this morning was good. 8:45 local time tomorrow, so you can watch that if you'd like to. See if the polls continue to go the way they have today. And then the racing later on in the day. Slightly later finish, I think, tomorrow, 5 o'clock if I'm not wrong, so probably the race shows will be a little bit later as well. Charlie Menard with the win. Take a look and see Menard. 2 P3s. I wonder if it might be his first win. I've only got the stats for this year in front of me. He's very pleased, isn't he? I love it. It's great. That's the kind of emotion we want to see from our drivers. We want to see them having a good time.
This right here, that's the good luck charm.
The good luck charm. What's the good luck charm? But now I need to know. Right, Nina Jade, if you're listening, we need to know what is the good luck charm. I heard somebody mention a good luck charm. I can't not know what it is. So we're going to have to find out. Melissa Kozira comes in for the win. Yeah, very pleased. She got it done, Tony, this morning in qualifying. She got it done at the start. She got protected at the restart. And again, when there was carnage kicking off all round, I kept a calm head. I think it's a good, mature drive.
Yeah, and when things are moving your way, she's just there to take the right moments. The qualifying was cut short. She had posted the lap time in the right moment. Very good and solid start. Good braking point into turn 1. She has a lot of confidence, and she knows that she can race well with the other drivers in Copa Shell Am, and she's doing super well.
Nina Jade Paul is with our winner, Charlie Menard.
Yes, Charlie, you said Sebring was your first race and you got 2 P3s, and now you've done one better, your first race win in Ferrari Challenge. That was amazing.
Yeah, thank you. Down in Sebring, we struggled qualifying P8 both times, and we had to drive up. And qualified 3rd today. Car was great. It really is a lot easier when you're closer to the front when you start. And obviously kind of a weird way, it's big, long yellows. So, these guys are going to be really tough to race with, and I look forward to seeing them tomorrow.
Well, you've got great racecraft, overtaking left, right and centre. I have to ask, Charlie, what's your lucky charm? We heard you mention it.
Yeah, I got my crew from Minnesota, so I got to thank them for coming. They've been coming to everything that I've been doing, and I really appreciate them all.
Well, congratulations. We go again tomorrow, but enjoy this one for now.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Very happy indeed, and rightly so. Didn't find out what the lucky charm was, though.
Friends and no, he mentioned.
Oh,
friends,
did he?
friend,
Okay, I was looking at the timing screen. Sorry.
Friends and crew coming and following him with all the races. I think he said Minnesota maybe, and yeah, that's bringing him good luck. I think
But
was a bit of-
I needed a physical Lucky Charm, Tony.
Yeah,
I was hoping
yeah.
for a necklace or, you know, like a
Yeah, but
talisman of
sometimes
some
when
sort.
you get the support,
It's the emotion.
it's
isn't
the
it? It's the emotion.
Yeah.
Lewis
Sweet-
Flory as well.
Sweet emotion.
Yeah, I like it. Shout out for Lewis Flory too, because his daughter is here seeing him race for the first time. It's kind of his home race because he's from Houston. His son is racing in Club Challenge as well. So it is a proper family affair, this great event here, Ferrari Racing Days. Nina Jade Paul is with Melissa Kozira.
Melissa, Tony and Andrew said on commentary that you are the perfect example of enjoying what you do, because enjoyment equals performance. Since Mugello last year, you've been on fire. Congratulations, the race win.
Thank you, appreciate it. You know, the car has felt absolutely amazing. The team's done a great job, and my coach working with me and really gaining my confidence on the track is just, this year is just sort of unfolded, so I'm very grateful.
But you seem totally calm and collected, like the pressure is completely not getting to you at all.
Oh, I appreciate you saying that.
How are you feeling about tomorrow now? Can you do it all over again?
Well, tomorrow's going to be a completely different race, so, you know, enjoy this one and then, you know, start over with the qualifying in the morning.
Enjoy it, Melissa. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
Giving my mic to Dustin.
Okay, Melissa Kozira, very happy indeed with her win, and rightly so. Look at that challenge car, looking fantastic. Look at the size of the brakes on these things, makes you realise how quickly they can stop. Still showing a little battle scar on the right-hand side there. I think that might be from Sebring last time out, but Parc Ferme, all good. Content capture galore going on, families down there celebrating with drivers. Right, Tony's got to go because I think he's on. Aren't you one of the podium guests today?
I think it's mañana, tomorrow.
Okay, tomorrow. Okay, maybe tomorrow. So you can hang around for a couple of minutes then, Tony, before you disappear, and then we'll get going. Look how happy Melissa is. This is the Melissa that we've seen quite a lot. All smiles and hugs around here, look great, being greeted by everyone. Right, let's take a look at the standings then after race number one here for both Copa Shell. Blake Rosser leading the standings. Let me see if he was leading, if he was leading. Of course he was before. The gap before was plus 12. It's now 25. So he's doubled his gap because, of course, Andrew Parker had a bit of a shocker here. Michael Owens is P3. Then Orsini, Whittle, Flory, Ott and Menard are your top 8 in Copa Shell. And then it's Chen, Evans, Carroll, Rose, Dayton, Borgio and Moss. Copa Shell Am. Melissa Kozira leads, the gap is 6, and I'm pretty sure it was 2 before. Yes, it was, so she's tripled her gap, but at 6 points, all still to play for, and it's very clear today that Sperman is going to be her main title rival, I think. Steve Czech moves up 1 place, but 39 points back, then it's Tweet, Nunberg, Hummel, Garrett, Corley. And further down the order, Peruskia, Gomez, Vartugian, Bernstein, Lennon, Sweder, Moyes down to P15. And then Roberts, Kiel, Patel, O'Neill, Holt, Mendoza and Sposato. Right, we're getting ourselves ready for podiums here at COTA, so stick around and we'll be back shortly to hand out the champagne and the trophies. Thank you to Tony Villander and Nina J. Paul. Stay with us. My name's Andrew Coley. Back in a minute. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the podium presentation for the third round of Ferrari Challenge North America from the Circuit of the Americas. Delighted to have you along with us today. We're ready to get started and bring out our first podium. Let's start then with the presentation for the 296 Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli. In third place, Roberto Perina. In P2, Manny Franco. And your winner today, Johnny Kaminsky. Please now remove your hats for the winner's national anthem. Please welcome Luca Zanetti, President, Ferrari North America, to present the trophies to our winners. Great P3 for Perina, P2 for Manny Franco, of course, took a win earlier on this year. But for Kaminski here, that's his 4th win of the season. Brilliant job. We'd like to invite from our partners at Pirelli to present the Pirelli Award to our winner, Lydia Mariani, Pirelli Motorsports Commercial Manager. Please welcome a representative from Ferrari of Long Island to accept the Trofeo Pirelli Team Award presented by Luca Zanetti, President, Ferrari North America. Finally, a very special presentation for this weekend with our Ferrari Races event. The fastest lap of the 296 Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli class from our partners at Richard Mille with a time of 2:05.246 goes to Johnny Kaminski. Once again presented by Luca Zanetti. Okay, now we can get the trophies held up high one more time. Johnny Kaminski doesn't have enough hands. Look, he's got so many trophies. Congratulations, everybody, today. One more job left to do. It is time for the champagne! Next up, let's invite our podium finishers for the 296 Ferrari Challenge Trofeo Pirelli AM class. In P3, Joe Rubo. In second place, Jan Bernier. And in P1, your winner today, Jay Logan. Please remove your hats for the winner's national anthem. To present the trophies to our winners, please welcome Andrea Medina, head of Ferrari Classiche and Special Sales. Fantastic job. We'd like to invite Lydia Mariani, Pirelli Motorsports Manager from our partners at Pirelli, to present the Pirelli Award to our winner. Please welcome a representative from Ferrari of Austin to accept the Trofeo Pirelli and Team Award, once again presented by Andrea Medina, head of Ferrari Classiche and Special Sales. Congratulations, everyone. Please hold those trophies up for the photos. And now, of course, it is time for the champagne. Next up then, our podium finishers for the 296 Ferrari Challenge Copa Shell. In third place, Michael Owens. In second place is Blake Rosser. Your winner today, Charlie Menard. And our Gentleman's Cup winner, Mike Luley. Please now remove your hats for our winner's national anthem. To present the trophies, please welcome onto the stage Marco Valle, Head of Marketing Ferrari North America. Please welcome a representative from Twin Cities Performance to accept the Copa Shell Team Award, once again presented by Marco Valle, Head of Marketing Ferrari North America. And finally, our special presentation for the 296 Ferrari Challenge Copa Shell class from our partners at Richard Mille. The fastest lap of the day goes to Kevin Orsini, 209.958. This time presented by Louis Colmash, Head of Ferrari Sales North America. Congratulations, everybody, today. Please hold up your trophies for the winners. And now just one more job to do. Trophies down. It is time for the champagne. All right, one last presentation then for the 296 Ferrari Challenge Copa Shell Am. In third place, give it up for Henry Hummel. In P2, Fabian Sperman. And your winner, it's her third win in a row, Melissa Kozira. You can give Melissa another cheer because she is the winner of our Ladies' Cup. So give it up for Melissa again, please. And our Gentleman's Cup winner, Lance Corley. Please now remove your hats for the winner's national anthem. And now please welcome to present the trophies to our winners, Kobe Zalate, Head of Ferrari Financial Services. Lastly, please welcome a representative from Ferrari of Naples to accept the Copa Shell AM Team Award, once again presented by Kobe Zalate, Head of Ferrari Financial Services. Great stuff with the trophy tie for the photos. And one last time today before we do all again tomorrow. It is time for the champagne! Congratulations to everybody today. We're going to do this all again tomorrow. If you're watching online, we will be broadcasting from 8:40 for qualifying for the second race of our third weekend here, COTA, Circuit of the Americas. We will see you then.